That sounds appropriate. We last time we went late. Omu. I don't have the exact XP you guys are supposed to be at, but I'm pretty sure you guys leveled up. Yes.
See, I'm at. I'm at an even 23,000.
Yeah, I didn't do any of it. Sorry, guys.
All we're doing.
What are we supposed to get from level 7?
It depends on what you want to do. So level
I think
7,
it's like a class thing.
you can get. I think at level 8 you can get a feat if you keep going in the same character. Becca, do you have the? Wait, no, mind.
I might have to come steal it though.
Oh, it's mine. All right, so Rangers. Quick look at it. No, I can get you another one. Druids, Paladins, Barbarians. Okay, the Ranger. Way back there. Okay. Okay, Sage, personality trait. You're not supposed to be in this camera.
No!
This is cameraception. You walk through your from yours into mine. Warlock, sorcerer, assassin, ranger. Here we are. Okay, so level 8, no, level 7. You get a ranger archetype feature, and your known spell list goes up by 1. And you get another second level spell slot if you want to go into more into ranger. Can multi-class if you want to, but for specifically for ranger, that's what. And the archetype is going to be. I believe it increases your Beastmaster stuff. Yes, beginning at the 7th level, any of your turns when your Beast Companion doesn't attack, you can use a bonus action to command the Beast to take the dash, disengage, dodge, or help action on its turn.
Oh my gosh, you're so heavy.
I thought you did that anyway. Okay. Whatever. Oh, that looks like what the main thing is. So you'd get another spell, have a little bit more versatility with Tiger Lily, Bestial Fury. Once you hit level 11, you can command your Beast Companion to make an attack action. The Beast can make 2 attacks, or can take the multi-attack action if it has a spell. I'm gonna have to look at that more to understand that. Oh, I thought you were like, you're doing like a Temple of Doom. You're gonna swap the dog for the book. Okay. Forget that. This is the other thing. It made it really nice. Becca put all my books right here, so that I don't have to get up and go across the room to grab them all. Makes my life a little bit easier. A little bit easier. Alright, so last time, making sure everything's working. You guys can still hear me, yeah? Nothing's broken. Steve, Sarah, can you guys hear me still?
I
Yes.
can.
Okay, cool. So, last time, as a quick review of what was going on, you guys had gone into one of the faraway areas of the basically monastery of the Aarakocra. This is in Kirsabal, and this specific area, as you recall, as you on approach, there it is on a sheer cliff. Normally, to get to this place, you'd have to go through thick jungles and through areas where there's water and other things. And this sheer cliff has these homesteads that have been put into the side of the mountain itself. And since the Aarakocra, being people who can fly, they don't get many visitors, and so a lot of the places where you would normally, expect there to be a lot of high maintenance in these kind of areas where you're up on the side of the mountain. There's a lot of dilapidation and issues where people who are unable to fly might find it challenging to be able to get to these areas. Upon getting here, you were greeted by a couple of different people. One was Ashara. She is one of the oldest Aarakocra, also seeming to have powers of the arcane and the command over the elements. And you met Prince Na and Princess, how do we say her name again? Mwanare. She's wanted to be called... Sorry, what it was. But essentially, running into these and speaking with them, there was a kind of a trade-off for information. These two, Prince Na and Princess Manware, they were both ancient descendants of the original royal family for the lost city of Omu and these areas in Chult. She sees herself and her brother as the rightful heirs, the people that she kind of believes that she's God's gift to this world, not in a malicious way, but in just the sense that she's always been told that she has a special purpose and that's her place, and that no one can think or breathe without her being there, and so that everyone's waiting on holding their breath, waiting for her to retake her rightful place. And basically come back to the merchant princes, for instance. She believes that if she's able to secure this holy object in one of the nearby ruins, that she can prove to the others that she is who she says she is, the others being the merchant princes in Port Nyanzaru, and that they will all band together. She believes that they all band together to help them for this purpose. After having some dinner and being able to have a little bit of conversation and getting into the ins and outs and discussing a little bit of how things are, you heard outside a disturbance with an Aarakocra who had flown through into the lower antechamber of the large monastery, badly beaten, and then was being pursued by these gargoyles. And when we had left off, this Aarakocra you guys had saved, there were very few casualties, but having all these gargoyles just continue to assail the place, there's a couple more holes in places that didn't before in the roof, and there's more repairs that are happening in this place to try and re-secure what was going on. None of the gargoyles there was a couple that were trying to retreat, but they were unable to. And after speaking with this Aarakocra, you guys learned a little bit more that these gargoyles were aggravated by one of the nearby areas that was they were following a patrol back to Sir Cabal. Basically, these scouts were going out and they were looking in different places. And one of the places that they were spying on was over in what they believed to be one of the areas near Omu. And these gargoyles were some of the ancient guardians that were set in place to keep people from going and, basically looting this place. And had, the Aarakocra had incurred their wrath. You guys had stayed their hand and now find yourselves kind of, it was a tenuous night. You did not when we held off, it was right after battle, so everyone is still kind of catching their breath from this battle. And the Aarakocra are all thankful for the help that you have provided, and so each of you're able to come together, looking around the room. You collect your thoughts. What are you guys wanting to do now at this point?
Whew, we left right there, huh?
Yep. If you recall as well, the place that she was talking about going to, this one was over in. It was right there. He was telling you that there's the Nangalore. Nangalore is nearby, that has some components and the specifically the item that Princess Menware was looking for. So that's just as I guess as a reminder, as one of the things that they had talked about, that if you were trustworthy or if you wanted to earn their favor, and get more information, that they would be willing to give it. If you were to basically, you scratch our back, scratch yours, kind of thing. So,
And what item was it? Or info?
yep, this one is right here. Making sure that the skull chalice of Chigare. She wants you to find the chalice and return it to her for the good of Chult. She's offered each of you 250 gold pieces worth of treasure from her private treasury.
I feel like didn't we discuss it last time? I feel like we did.
I believe so.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah.
I don't remember. I believe that you guys were. You had come out into this foyer.
Yeah, and we were talking. We asked them to go in the other room.
You were talking about if you wanted to or not, and that's when you were interrupted with Aarakocra, guy flying through the.
I think I want to go ahead.
I was just gonna say, have we checked to see if there's anybody seriously wounded that we can help right now?
Other than the one that was in front, I know that you guys had done a little bit of healing on this Aarakocra in the middle. But the guy upstairs, I believe, was fatally injured, killed. Then there was two younger Aarakocra that have been kind of put into this back room, this antechamber, for safekeeping. But otherwise, everyone else is in relatively good repair. Some of the Aarakocra in the actual dining room that you're in, they were a little injured, but no one is fatally, other than the one Aarakocra that had been killed. Everyone else is in pretty okay shape.
Okay.
I'd say Mushrib, probably the worst for wear.
Was he the one that was upstairs? I could have sworn that I was upstairs when we ended.
I think a lot of us were, but then we came down here
Yeah.
and we're discussing. Oh wait, no, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. I remember
We
being
can just
up.
yeah. I mean, we can just assume we all just kind of came down.
Yeah. That was I believe that's what we ended up doing. We just hand waved and pulled everybody downstairs. Talk.
So we're at that point again. Like have we discussed this attack at all? I don't remember.
No, at this point, you guys, we ran really late, and so we ended up cutting it off. And so at this point, you guys haven't really discussed anything. It's just kind of like you're catching your breath, and
Well, should we then? Let's see. They were in the other room defending. Should we kind of? I say we go check. Check on everybody. Make sure. What's her name? Ashra and Princess Maxanare or something.
yeah, how I'll get the pronunciation.
What?
Let's see, she is
Princess Na, is she
Appendix
one of them?
D.
Are there two princesses?
No, there's a prince. There's a young prince. Appendix D. Princess. That's
Is the prince the red bird?
Yes, he's the one that wears the mask that looks a lot like the Aarakocra, and he likes to kind of he's able to speak both languages. But he seems
Got it.
a lot less interested in humans than a normal child might be. There it is. Okay. You say her name. Nare is what she wanted to be called for short. Walks Nare. I don't see the...
So which one's the prince? Nare or
Nare is the young one, and sorry, Na is the prince. This kid, little boy, is Prince Nare, and then sorry, Na, and then Nare is his sister, the older one.
Got it.
More letters, older.
That's right. So they came and were living with the Aarakocra,
They were sheltering
kind
him
of
and keeping
as
him
refugees,
secret.
but they want to get. Yeah, it's like a whole like Targaryen thing going.
Yep, exactly.
She wants her dragon. You
Mm-hmm.
know? She ain't going.
That's the quickest way to put it. Yes. Daenerys Targaryen and her brother, who's not weird and creepy,
Yeah, but does wear a mask.
but does wear a mask, so he's younger.
He's just trying to fit in.
He's not lewd, the brother.
Like when you keep saying young, how old is he?
He's super young. He is
I thought he was like 8.
8. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. And
Super
she's
young.
what? She's a teenager.
She
Or
is. She. You haven't asked her specifically, but roll me a perception check to see if you can tell.
First roll of the day. I wasn't ready for it.
Got too many sticky
Almost
notes.
there.
Too many sticky notes.
All right, where is there? Man,
You're not quite sure, but you know she's young.
she's
But
young.
it's hard to
That's
tell
enough.
because you've some elves look young, but they're older.
This is a good point.
So it's this whole age thing is weird.
All right. So are we still in separate rooms based on how things are configured? Or...
I believe Roland, he went off to, at least for brevity's sake, he went off to get his other things, his implements, so that he could rejoin you guys. But other than that, yes, you guys can, if you guys want to reconvene in the very crowded main hall. Mooserib will hang outside. The Aarakocra would probably hang outside. Some one of these attendants come out.
I just figured that we'd all go in there. I mean, I know we haven't. I don't know if we made a decision, but I don't feel like we'd go from the ending that battle to. So are we gonna do this or not? I
Yeah,
figured it'd be more of
agree.
a hey, is everybody okay?
I agree.
Yeah, that's why I was saying if we'd checked on anybody else yet.
No, not at this point. So if you guys want, you guys kind of step in. You see Princess Nare and Prince Na in the back corner of the room. One of the Aarakocras is kind of limping a little bit, but he kind of passes off for the other guy to go help tend to the other wounded. Ashara, as she's looking very calm and collected, you see this very charged essence about her, very like previously seeing her and seeing how old she was and how kind of calculated she was in her movements, and you see that there's a lot more power behind that movement.
What's her name again? Sorry.
Ashara.
Ashara. Okay, I've got it.
And so stepping in, Mushrib, he offers to help send some of the guys outside. Tiger Lily, would she come in there with you, or would she be kind of pacing out here?
Yeah, she'd be with me.
Okay, so she comes in the room as well. And then Roland, you hear him kind of ching, 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 come running up into the door. He's like, I've checked the other areas. It seems everyone is okay. How's everyone in here?
I'm doing all right. Princess, how are y'all doing?
She holds her head very high and she says that that was not the first attempt at my life, and There are those that might not want to see me in my rightful throne, but they will see the same fate. Ashara will see to that.
Well, I mean, you guys know, hell of a way to throw a welcome party, you know.
You see, roll me a charisma check. We'll see.
See if I got that. See if I got that wink in or not.
Yeah, if you've got that allure that.
It's gonna be a 2.
Where is charisma?
Don't act dumb.
It's
on
not
your
alphabet.
table.
There is
it's
no
not.
charisma. Which one do I roll?
Charisma's the bottom, I think.
Perform.
Persuasion. You can do performance or persuasion, whichever is higher.
They're the same. Woohoo! That's better than nothing.
All right, yeah, you're good. Princess Nare doesn't really crack. Neither does Ashara, but Prince Na, you see, you can see the smiling behind his mask. He thought it was fun.
At least I got somebody.
So,
And how is Musharib doing?
he's okay. He's lower than half health, but he's also outside tending the others, try and help.
And last, like kind of out of character comment here, question.
Mhm.
Did we get any information from that attack? Like, did they say anything?
So when
can't
the
recall.
aircocker first came in, he was basically speaking a language you didn't understand, but you got the sense that he was trying to get away. And that was
there somebody
all the
there that could hear what he said?
I think
Or is
Ashara
it
just wasn't
not
far. Ashara was close enough that she could have heard it. Yeah,
Okay.
but you haven't talked with anyone who can speak common until this point.
So it looked like that soldier that came flying in, or sorry, I assume he was a soldier, was running from them. I couldn't understand what he said.
Indeed, this is Ashara responding. She speaks aloud and says, "He was one of our scouts and has returned. For many days they have been gone to look for these different relics and things that have fallen.
Bye.
These different places. And, seems that they might have gotten a little too close for comfort to some of the guardians of the city Omud. We are long time been fighting these different creatures, and it seems this time we have crossed too far where they retaliated against us. We appreciate very much your assistance in helping us to thwart this enemy from our gates."
Not a problem. No, we're happy to help.
And for your troubles, I want to offer you. You have shown me you are both strong and wise and kind. I believe that to help you in your endeavor to help recover some of these information, I would be more than happy to help you by casting the ritual. Went the dance of the 7 win. This is a complex ritual, but I will be able to grant you the ability to fly, to get past some of these areas that are more difficult to tread on foot, like without being able to fly over them.
Oh, wow.
You said she's given it to us just because of that battle, right?
Because you proved yourselves essentially as just trustworthy and that you were willing to defend their people. So she's less guarded than she was first.
So I'm assuming that's a temporary boon?
Asking her, or are you asking me?
I'll ask in character. I'm like,
Okay.
so this ability to fly, like, permanently?
This is something that it is a very complex ritual, but I would be able to grant you the ability to fly for essentially for a period of time. But I would require a
To the completion of this quest.
a component. This black orchid that you must also you're going to need to go and get. But using this, you will be able to find your way to where these gargoyles had derived.
Is this going to take part of my soul or something with
No.
this spell?
No, this will not take anything from you. In fact, it would, if anything, it will take my ability to fly for several days.
Oh, we take it from you.
Exactly. She would basically lose the ability to fly. You'd be able to fly 4 miles per hour. You had a flying speed of 30, and it will last for 3 days. So that'll give you enough time to hopefully get in and get out. But if you don't get out, then you just have to get out the hard way.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. So Shara gives you a little bit more information. Essentially, you know, to put your minds at ease. She explains that she takes this orchid, she grinds it to a powder. You have to inhale it and dance around while these other Arakakra, they chant prayers to the Wind Dukes of Aqua. When it's done, that's when the transference of the ability to fly will take.
So if we each brought her a black orchid, and then she would basically divide up her power of flying between the 3 of us,
Yes.
or 4 of us, I guess, if you include Roland.
And what are you gonna do, Tiger Lily? I mean, Tiger Lily, technically, she could. Well. But yes, if you bring it back an orchid, each of you an orchid, then you'd be able to shoot, grind it to a powder. Each of you would have to inhale it. Your choice. And if the ritual succeeds, then you guys will each have the ability to fly for 3 days.
That makes me nervous.
Yeah, how necessary is flight in order to complete our quest
Are you asking
in that city? Yeah.
person? Okay. She explains there are many places, as you know, in Chult that are very difficult to get to unless you can fly. Even if you can fly, there are different dangers. There are the terrafolk and other people that would not see that one creature might rule the skies. They fight for dominance. But to get to certain remote regions, it would be far quicker to get there by using flight than to walk, simply because of the difficult terrain that those who walk on land would have to trudge through.
So what is the likelihood of us being able to accomplish this quest and come back within the 3-day time limit?
Make a. Are you going to ask her directly, or are you going to try and figure it out? So, she looks at each of you and says, for being able to fly there and to get the necessary get to the places you need to be to, it would take a day and a half. So depending on how quickly and swiftly, it might simply aid you in getting there, but I don't know that it would assist you in leaving that place. You'd have to do that by your own means, whether by
And are we able to leave the place if it's like without flying?
yes, you would be able to do it. It just would not be as quick to get there to leave. You would have to essentially go through the same hardships that you would have had to go on the way in. So it would be essentially they would be less resource intensive. So like you fight your way in and then you fight your way out, kind of a thing. If that makes sense. Versus you fly your way in and potentially not fight, and then you fight your way out back to because everywhere in this region is just there's undead and other stuff everywhere.
Okay, then my last concern is for her taking her power of flight. What if something happens while we're gone and she is not able to fly away?
She replies, I appreciate your concern, child. But as you can see, I have other means of defense besides my ability to fly. And this is the main reason why I need to know that you are trustworthy, not trying to usurp my power or to destroy this place. I would not offer this lightly, and I have other attendants that would be able to carry me if such a need arises, but for what it is worth, I am placing my trust in the four of you.
Yeah, that's what I was most worried about, is if things would be guarded while we were gone, I guess. That was quite a vicious attack.
Right, and if they were to see that we are not there helping anymore, they might, I mean, it might become worse
This
next time. And
is true, but the way that we know these gargoyles work, they are meant to protect the city of Omu itself. So I am less concerned about them coming for us, and for more concerned about them coming after you on approach of the city.
okay, so what all do we need to get from the city? Have we talked about that?
So one of the things that you specifically want is, well, if you want, for Princess Nare, she has the cup of
The chalice of
yes, the chalice of Chigare. So this chalice is one of the things. It's a significant long lost treasure. That's essentially like a royal family heirloom. And you're also again you're trying to find the by doing this, you're hoping to gain more information about the city and about its inhabitants, and hopefully more about some of the lost information about the necromancer, now lich, that had created the soulmonger.
Okay, so we want the chalice and that, and is that the same thing as that soulmonger thing, or those
No,
two different
these
things?
two different things.
Okay, and we can also find answers to the soulmonger thing if we go to this place.
Yes. And Princess Nare has agreed to show you and give you more information about the city and other things that might be helpful in finding the soulmonger, if you're willing to help her retrieve this artifact.
Okay, so not only will we have to do this, but we have to look out for her as well. Are any of her guards coming, or is it
She
just
she's not necessarily offering to come with you on this part, but she'd be willing to go and offer information, whether it be drawing maps or other kinds of stuff
Oh, okay.
that she would have access to, because her family, she was not alive when they were in Omu, but she's the those are the last two surviving members of the people who were in. So she has access to, like, blueprints for different parts of the actual city Omu, and give you more information, different things about that kind of stuff.
So
Ancient guardians, that kind of stuff.
how crazy is it gonna be once we get to Omu? How many gargoyles are we talking? I mean, could talk to your scout and see what he saw while he was there?
That would be the most well thought through idea to do. I know that when you get there, aside from having guardians, there are less brute force in this place, and more locks and keys. You might call them, where you must use your mind to get through these things, and without a keen, sharp mind, you will not get yourself very far. Many things in which many of our people we have overcome many of the gargoyles to try and seek information, but we have been unsuccessful unlocking some of its secrets. Not have the ability to be granted passage from many of these places, and it might be the will.
I'll be right back.
Okay, it might be the will of Uptow, but it is as it should be. Uptow is the, as you guys, as a reminder, is the primary god of Chult, and this little symbol that you guys see all over the place, the maze, is a representation of him.
Uptow.
Uptow. I believe somebody, I want to say it was Roland, either Roland or Vivifina, they did a religion check last time and found that out. So.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
Uptow.
Okay.
All right, so it seems like it's gonna be a hard task. It's gonna be easier if we can fly, but it seems like it's most definitely we're gonna have to fight our way out. We're gonna have to walk out. I don't think we're
Most
gonna be
likely.
able to do it.
Unless you have ability to do
Flying, like,
teleportation, gate spell, that kind of stuff, you have to do it by foot.
yeah, I don't think we are gonna be able to do that. So, and we're gonna have to fight these guardians again, and we have to do it with uh the special weapons, because you remember last time it was really hard to kill them. You had to use enchanted stuff. So if I remember right, my enchanted one is a bow.
Yes, your bow is your ammunition. For all intents and purposes, everything you shoot out of that bow is considered a magical attack.
Okay. So it's gonna be really hard to do. I think that we should do it, not only to prove to them of our um not willingness, but that sincerely don't want to take this kingdom, and we really do. We need to help Roland. He's like getting more and more sick by the day, and this is a for sure way to get that information that we need.
This is the first solid thing that you guys have had in a while.
What are we waiting
Yeah.
for?
So 2 birds, 1 stone.
Let's go.
Hopefully none of us
Don't say
die.
birds! Don't say birds!
birds!
Oh man, you just offended them. We're gonna get thrown
I'm
off.
assuming that's internal dialogue. So, but yes, you are correct. And in that, yes, everything there, that would be the most. This is honestly the most, as far as you're concerned, it's the most solid thing that you've heard about this city of Omu, and best lead that you've had thus far. Most of it's just been smoke and mirrors and legends of things that people whisper under their breath. So.
Yeah, I personally think, I mean, I think we've asked all the questions we can ask, and then we just need to talk with each other and see if everybody's okay.
Okay, so let's please sorry again. Our last discussion was interrupted by those rude stone gargoyle things. Let us go, if you don't mind. Give us a few minutes to discuss our plans. What we want to do here.
You hear Prince Na whisper something to Princess Nare. If you want to find out what he says, you guys can passive perception it.
I can't understand whatever they're saying.
He's speaking
14.
Aarakocra.
Oh.
That's just rude.
None of us can understand
My
it.
passive
Mine's
perception
14.
is 15.
15? What's yours? Benfina? Look at the little kitty.
What is he speaking?
Let me check.
Passive perception?
No, what is he speaking the language?
This is the Aarakocran language.
Oh yeah, I can't speak that.
It's
Yeah,
kinda like
I don't
some
think any of us can.
federal
Mine's
terms.
22.
22? Okay. Well, you all hear it, and you hear him say it, and Princess Nare looks kind of around to see if you guys have any recognition on your faces, to see, like, if you had heard what he said. She kind of hushes him and, you know, basically just kind of, like, chastises him for speaking out of turn kind of thing. Is what her body language is what it's conveying. And she speaks most of what she says in common and Nare, that's quite enough. And you guys are able to, you get the sense that he probably said something along the lines of, I think they're all gonna die, you know, like that this isn't the first group of people that have gone. And so you don't get the sense that he has much faith in people returning. If that makes sense. He's used to people always leaving. And so yeah, and so he's he so once you guys if you guys want to step out, you guys are able to step out, but you do catch that on the way. And they say, well, you know, that they're good, that they'll wait, and that if you guys need, you guys can convene and they can talk about it in the morning, or they can hang tight depending on how long talk about it.
I just don't want to talk in front of them.
That's fine. So you just step out. You just step out. Hey, you know, just give us a minute, and they're totally fine with it. Some of the Aarakocra in the hallway, if you want, they will convene elsewhere. They see you each relieve. The one Aarakocra that had come in that you had healed, I believe, Venfina, you healed him, didn't you? When he came crashing in?
Yeah, I have a few hit points or whatever.
So he you don't know what he says, but he kind of bows and thanks you, and did them kind of return back upstairs, different area. Mushrib's out here. We got Roland. A perception check. Roland is shuffling. Aurora. Hey, Aurora picks up on it.
I see it.
Landon, you pick up on it. Let's see. Is it serendipity? Only a 10? Come on. You don't see it. Everyone recognizes Roland he's walking a lot more sallow and slow, and like he just seems very tired.
Hey, Roland, buddy, you doing all right there?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. The last one took a little bit of wind out of me, but I'm doing okay. I'm good. I'm good.
I was busy not talking to the cockroach.
Yeah, you were busy talking to him and saying goodbye. I thought you were saying talking in real life. I'm like, who are you talking to? The kitty cat?
No, coming up with an excuse for my role.
That's perfect. So, looking out at the group, Roland, you know, he kind of takes a breath and, so, this sounds like the lead that we're looking for. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm decided in my own mind that we need to do this. I just wanted to, find out, uh, I want to check with Musheti and make sure he was okay. We didn't get a chance to talk to you after the battle, and wanted to find out, kind of catch you up to what's going on and see if you wanted to hang out here, if you were wanting to join us. I think you heard kind of the gist of it earlier. Maybe I don't.
Musha replies, and he's I'd like to be much closer to the ground as soon as possible. I'm not sure I'm fit for the heights that we are. And you can see he's visibly at unease. He's staying away from the precipice that's kind of going off the cliff. He's very
Well, let me
trying to stay very
let me tell
close
you
to this
this.
rock.
You're welcome to join us. It's from the way they're painting this picture. It sounds like it's a pretty dangerous place we're heading. We know you can handle yourself, but they're apparently going to perform a ritual that's going to give us the ability to fly for a few days. I don't know if that's something.
So he kind of swings his hammer over, and he's like, "I can do well to handle myself. I don't know that I'm very keen on flying, but if going and getting these orchids to make this thing happen work, then I'm willing to go and make this happen. I know that
Oh man.
this trek continues
Or
longer.
my gnome, or in my head, I'm stumbling to remember.
He's basically
Sure.
well, and I cannot wait for the day that we do these kind of preparations to go and reclaim the place of my people.
Looking forward to it as well. All right. Well, so we've got the 5 foes, including Tiger Leather. We got 6 of us.
You got 6 total.
Yeah,
Alright.
we didn't really get info on how far away these orchids are and such.
And do we know if we've got a guide from among the
Ashara? You haven't asked.
Arakakra? Yeah,
But
let's check on that. But otherwise, okay. So we first have to, before we can do that though, we have to go get these orchids.
And how
yeah.
dangerous is it gonna be to get these orchids?
Um,
Is it just like, walking a field of roses, or is it
so
like, fight a galley of
I think that you guys would
alligators?
have probably asked this during this, so I'm going to retcon it and just
Yeah.
say, when you asked Ashara about it, she gave you some information, at least the information that she understands and knows. This is a garden. This was created a long time ago, specifically for to honor someone named Zalcore. She was a vain Omuan queen. Ashara almost spits her name out like it's a vile poison. It's just very, her feathers get ruffled, and she does not seem to have pleasant feelings towards this person. And for a long time, this was a hanging garden of dreams. Kananji was basically a palatial retreat for many of the pressures of Omu. This is for like the royal family and for these different people, and she built this garden to try and say, look how wonderful I am. This is a plant representation of all the wonderful things here in Chult, and it reflects me.
And how far away is it?
This one is, make sure it's not too far off. Get my map out real quick.
Okay. I mean, it's not a
Yeah, it's
hugely important question.
It's a little bit of a trek to get there, but it's not super far off. From Bangalore here. Here we are. All right, so from where you guys are, let's see, how many tiles is that? It's so small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles. Each tile represents 10 miles.
How many tiles?
So it's 50 miles total.
Okay.
How far away they are. And you guys, at a normal walking pace, I think it's 2 miles is usual, like if you're trying to push through the jungle itself. 2 miles a day is usually going at a normal pace. If you're trying to push it really hard, maybe 3.5 days, or 3.5 miles a day.
Did you see her eating?
No. That little fart is the heart. I'm going to point at it because that little fart has been really difficult with getting to eat.
I saw it.
Sorry. Yeah, it was actually happening.
We're excited because the kittens, if they don't, then they're going to die.
Foster kittens die on us before.
It's a
Sad.
life or death.
So, you know, is everybody in agreement? We
You go down
down
the.
to get this flower and then go have some fun.
I think this is what we came here for. We were looking for answers, and this is our first bit of the info.
So you guys hear
Nods in
Yeah.
agreement.
Sorry, Jackson was talking to me. Yeah, I think that we should go. I think it will pay off in the end.
You guys
Let's do it.
hear some footfall on wood, and as you look around, you see Prince Na in the doorway, kind of peeking around. Runs back in. So as you guys re-enter into the room, Princess Nare, again chastising her younger brother for his childishness. And you guys, so you relay this to everybody, letting them know what they want to do. They say, okay, you know, that they'll help as anything that they can help with to try and make this trek a little easier. They will gladly provide it. One of the things that specifically they offer to be able to help is that if you guys want to do any river transport, they would be able to help secure some boats, go down the river. This specific river is Olong that you guys would be traveling down. Otherwise, you're going to have to go straight through the jungle.
Okay, and I want to go looking to go the quickest route. We're not real familiar with the area, except maybe Mushadi here, but we'll go the recommended path. And I wanted to ask, will you be sending a guide or anyone with us, or just pointing to a map?
We Ashara speaks up. We will send a attendant to you to take you to the river itself, and then we will have scouts watching for your return to help you return to this place in the most expeditious manner that we can provide. So essentially, they're going to try and use some of the Aarakocra to carry you guys down to this place, so that way you're not having to go down this big treacherous walk, and be able to take you to the river. Otherwise, like if you guys want this help, she offers it. This, you know, she seems a little bit like doesn't kind of not really perturbed. What's the word? But like kind of like this, rolling her eyes, like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like people who walk are a pain in the butt. But
Sorry, I'm trying to find the place where I find where my things are. Oh, never mind. I think I found it. Hold on.
which things? Your equipment?
No, sorry. I was looking for the land that I.
Oh,
Oh my
your
gosh.
background?
No, the Yes.
Favorite train. Forest, jungle. I believe we have said that it does count as your favorite terrain. So, with that, because it is your favorite terrain, if you were to go through the jungle, you would not be impeded by the jungle itself.
Well, she wouldn't.
Anyone
the
with
whole
her as well,
party.
the whole party.
Oh, nice! I forgot. Nice.
So that does.
So
that,
if we have to come back that way, then it's not going to slow us down
yes.
too much.
And that's why a lot of the movement and things, I haven't been doing a lot of penalizing, because normally moving through jungle is very pain in the butt.
Oh, I say we do it. We're good.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's getting late. Actually, I don't know what time. Wait, time check.
It is waning deep into the night. We're talking probably 10 or 11 in the evening. You're touching the thing again, and I think it turned your mic off.
How about now?
Working.
You know, I don't know about everybody else, but I think it'd be smart to have a night's rest. I'm pretty tired from that fight a little bit ago.
Roland pipes up, kind of breathing heavily, and I would have to second that.
Be right back.
So we'll set off break of dawn.
The morning we plan.
I think so. The only other thing I was wondering is, if we're going 50 miles to this garden for the flowers, then how far is Omu?
So are you
Are we
asking?
gonna be?
asking?
Yeah, are we traveling close to Omu, or?
So Ashara, she kind of pipes up. She says, "Well, the land of Omu is a very large space, and no one knows exactly where the city itself lies because it has been overtaken by the jungle and the many creatures that go and crawl there. But one thing we can say for certain is that the higher the concentration of its guardians, then we know that the place where we are most likely to find the gates and the entryway. The city of Omu itself is far to the south. This we know because this is where many of the writings and the things which we have known of these people for many hundreds of thousands of years is where they had settled initially. But now it is lost again to the jungle. But if I was to give you an approximation, Nangelo is possibly a quarter of the way to what we believe is where the city resides. So she's saying it's probably 200, 300 miles.
Okay, so this will save us time, essentially.
Otherwise, you'd be going through. Do any of you have a map that you want to procure? She's trying to explain it, and she doesn't have a map on hand, but
I don't think I have a map, but let me check.
one of you has one. If you have the journal. Whoever has the wizard's journal. I try really hard to change their voices, but I feel like they all go into the same. Because it's like a regional thing, right? Everybody talks Jamaican.
I have the Explorers pack.
Okay,
But I don't have
would not apply here.
Journal.
Would not apply here. Clandon, who is it? You?
Yeah, who was like the wizard though that would have been able to use the spell?
You guys had the journal from. It wasn't a spell book. It was a journal that. You also had a magical map. From.
Okay, hold on. Let me check.
Syndra.
I've got a magical scroll.
Of what?
Divine and omen from an otherworldly divination. So what my description?
There you go. Fun fact.
Clandon had it.
In case you need. So someone has the. I know one of you have it. It might even be Roland, and Roland would offer it. But one of you has the journal and the magical map from Syndra that shows the land of Chult. It doesn't have specific markings, but it has relative like landmarks and things that you would recognize. And using this, Ashara gives a little bit more context. I'm going to pull you guys over to the map so you can see it. Beady. Anyone tell me what anime that's from?
I don't know that one.
Betty Boop.
Hamtaro.
I've never seen that one.
Ham.
Have you been watching the Demon Slayer one?
Yes, it's so
Holy
good.
crap!
It's so good.
That last episode.
That was so good.
So the one part I just watched, the spoiler alert, anyone watching the stream, I'm sorry. Where they were in the house and the guy with the drums, and then there was the
you're at that part. Okay.
We went to the part where there was the spider dudes, and then the pig dude's fighting the big guy. And then he's like, haha, you're scared of me. He's shivering and he's like, gets all crazy. Big old.
Is that the last one you saw?
Yeah, and then the two big, stronger demon hunters showed up.
Yes. Okay, so they're
So
one
good.
or two episodes behind us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the last episode. Or sorry, the previous. So the latest one, oh my goodness.
This is so good.
It's like God level.
Is it?
It is
Oh, I'm so
god
excited.
tier episode. It's so good, dude.
I'm excited.
Steven. Becca wants me to have one of those kitties.
No.
I
They're
want
so
that white one.
sweet. They're so.
It looks like a cute Siamese kitty.
It's not
that
gonna
one-
survive this trip to
No, Becca's
murder.
gonna bring it
Yeah.
to me.
She's so cute. They're all girls too.
Yeah, that one.
This one is the
looks like-
best eater too right now.
That one's the runt, I think, because it's only like 13 ounces. The other ones are 14, 15 ounces. But that one looks like the dad, apparently. The other two, the tiger striped ones, look like the mom. So.
I just telling Steve that I think we should get another kitty, and he's all like, "There's
So
no
sweet.
vacancies."
Hey, I'm gonna show you a picture. Hold on. No, I won't find it. It's like there's no more room for dogs, and there was like 6 dogs in the picture, and then the wife circled all the spaces in between each of the dogs and said, "Here, there's spaces." It was funny. So, okay.
Yes.
Can you guys see the map in front of you?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm gonna ping the map. Can you guys see where I'm pinging where the party marker is?
Yes, that big.
So that's where you guys are right now in Kirsabal. It is way down on the far eastern, kind of the middle eastern part of the island itself, or the peninsula of Cholt. And where you are going, she traces down the river Olong, down here to Nangalore.
So here?
Down there is where she's saying that Nangalore is, and where she's saying, so if you're, I don't know if you're zoomed in, I'm zoomed in right now, but the area that you're going, that she's saying Omu it would be, is near the Peaks of Flame. Large mountainous region to the south is where they believe somewhere in that vicinity is where you're going to find the...
I mean, it could have been the Peaks of Death, you know,
City of
Peaks
Omaha.
of Flame. We can deal with that.
Does anyone want to do a history check or ask a question?
I want to do
for
a
any of
history
this.
check.
Okay, do a history check for me. See if you recognize. So, Aurora, you've read a little bit about these regions, and since this is kind of your favorite terrain, you remember hearing a little bit about this specific region. Specifically, that there were a lot of different. There are a lot of different conflicting stories. There's kind of like these tall tales, if you will, of different people and different the making of Cholt, and some of the Ubtao, and how he had come and he'd created these different things and these other gods in this area. And one of the folk tales, if you will, of these is that a lot of these volcanoes are powered by red dragons. That there's large, kind of like the whole mentality of like that the whole world's sitting on a turtle's back, kind of the same type of mythos.
Are red dragons related to, or dislike, or love acid dragons in any manner?
So green dragons.
Aurora's like, I need a red version.
Clandon-
Red's much more my color.
Clandon, I'll let you do a history check with advantage, because I believe dragons are your favorite enemy, are they not?
They are.
Yes. Go for it. Clandon can answer this one. Through my mouth.
No, I can't.
Okay. So, he doesn't know for sure, but he knows that most chromatic is what they're called. Chromatic, you have green, red,
Right, the different
black,
colors.
the different colors. Chromatic dragons typically are evil. They're typically very greedy, and they're typically want to bend whatever's around them to their will. They don't like to share.
So red dragons will hate green dragons.
They usually won't tread on each other's territory. But they don't necessarily like each other.
Aurora, I know what you're getting at. And no, they're gonna see you got dragon hide on you, and they're not gonna be happy about it.
They will look at it as you have eliminated another threat, but they will also see you as more of a threat because you've done so. Because you're more powerful. You know what I'm saying? They won't take you as lightly because they see.
I mean, she's over here shaking, man. You're getting her nervous.
So that's the lore, is that there's this large, ancient, gigantic dragon. Hi, Sterling.
Hi, Sterling.
Wave at the camera. I see you.
What's up, dude?
He's like, oh crap!
I
Oh crap! They see me.
I still
I
see.
still see you.
I still see you. Sterling, don't touch the kitties, please.
I still see you, man.
Don't make me come in. But yeah.
Oh, is she in a different room?
Yeah, she's her office.
Oh,
So when
man.
you see her do her Facebook lives, that's the chair in her bedroom next, like basically in the
Ah.
corner of our room, instead of in here. And then we're gonna turn this back area into I don't know, I'm gonna call it live. You know when people have like a couch or something, live streams. You know.
Nice.
And then
Got
that's my shrine to nerddom.
Oh, awesome. I wish I had a spot for that.
Yeah, we're cramming like everything. We finally stuffed all the kids into one bedroom, and then we have all the other stuff over here. We need a new house.
Well, I mean, our neighbors happen to be selling their house, so
Becca.
I hear you.
If our security guy can move to wherever he's going, then I can move to Texas and work remote,
Right.
full remote.
guys,
Nice.
that would be freaking awesome.
So what you're saying is there's a chance.
Well, the prices for what you can get for a house down there, it's so much more house than you can get here.
Hey, Naked Penny, how are you?
For real, we paid, let's see, our house is what, 2,400? 2,300 square feet? And we paid like 170-ish.
Oh, that's way better. Out here, it's like
Yeah, we could get barely
300,000.
anything
It's
for
crazy.
yeah.
Like we were looking at houses that were, I don't even remember how many square feet. It was like a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom house with no garage, a yard, and other stuff, and they were wanting like 270. Stupid. It's like all the Silicon Valley guys are moving out here and it's raising all our prices.
Yep.
So,
That's what they did to Austin.
right. Austin,
Okay.
Salt Lake, all them.
I
Okay.
say that we still go for it, even though I will most likely bring death upon us all with my dragon armor.
No,
There,
I mean,
where that's way to the south for Omu,
Yeah.
and where you're going is
Yeah.
much closer. So you're.
Yeah.
But when she's talking about these
that's
different
something
regions,
we'll worry about later.
you're able to give a little bit of whoops, the wrong map. Here's Cabal. There we go. Or Kirsabal. So yeah, you guys, this is some information you're able to impart a little bit. Ashara, surprised that you know kind of a little bit more about the culture here, and kind of nods in acknowledgement that these are some of the things kind of are from this area. And at this point, you guys are able to. She kind of says, "Well, you know, as it is getting late, and Prince Na, we must get him to bed." And Nare, kind of gets a little bit of that 14-year-old being told to go to bed. Look, they need to get their rest, and we can convene in the morning if that is amenable for you. We can provide you lodging. There are many of the Arakakra here that are willing to forego their staying so that you might sleep more comfortably. She's gestures to the rooms over or the west of where you guys are standing. If you guys require anything, then feel free to ask. We will have station guards through the night to ensure that we do not have any more unwanted visitors.
Thank you.
And you may sleep at peace. Okay, so Penny, go get a diaper. Thank you. Like filled the room. Whoa, why is Ben Phoenix giant? So yeah, you guys are able to get your the stuff. She gestures to it, and then if you guys didn't have any other further questions for her, she is excusing herself.
Okay, I think
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
think
ready
we
for
got
bed.
any more questions.
Okay.
Right. I go clamber off the bed. Be
Okay.
like, hey, Roland, you need help? You good, man?
I'm good. I'm gonna say a couple of things. Make sure that everyone has their healing for the evening, and then I'll follow after you guys.
Hopefully he'll feel a little better in the morning.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll all feel better in the morning.
Hopefully.
And Benfina, do you want to share a room with me?
That sounds good.
Okay, so Aurora, Vinfina, and Tiger Lily. Clandon. Oh, I was like, why is Clandon in the room? So everybody retires to their
No
area.
problem here.
Roland and Mushrib. You guys each are able to have your own room if you need. Fine. Everybody goes to bed. You're able to have a full long rest. So everybody mark down that you have a long rest, and that you're kind of ready to go for the day. And you all are able to reconvene. Everybody kind of comes out. Your normal kind of getting ready to go. Everybody's just kind of, you get armored up, make sure that your armor's ready to go. You're used to having Roland take some time to go and bless his armor, get kind of ready for the day and getting all that ready. But you notice that he is absent longer than you would have expected.
Has anybody seen Roland?
Mushrib,
No, I haven't.
Mushrib's out there. He's ready.
I'll go check on him.
Okay. So you open the door and you're looking into the room. You see Roland is still sleeping in bed, and no, he's got his covers pulled over and doing his thing. But upon approaching, you notice that this room is very still. There's no sound of breathing, no sound that
He
people
died.
would normally make when sleeping. And
Preston?
upon approaching his corpse, you get, you see clutched in his arms, there is a journal. And opening it up, you see a quill that's kind of marked in this page that seeming to have written or been writing in. So, second to get. Don't have it. Close the page. So opening it up, get right here. Okay. So you see written in his hand. He does not seem like he is in pain. Doesn't seem like he has been, tortured in any way, or there's no dagger in his heart or anything. But you see him again. He's with this. You have to do a little bit of prying. Rigor mortis is starting to set in, and you're able to get this journal from him. And do you read this with you? Do you call out to people? What is your reaction to it?
No, I make sure that he's covered in.
Kind of close his eyes and
Yeah, eyes are closed and stuff.
put coins on his
I
tongue.
grab the journal on his eyes.
On his eyes, sorry.
And yeah.
Okay, so you bring
Take
it
a
up.
moment to compose myself a little bit because
A little bit shocked.
Damn. Yeah, and yeah, I come out. I look at the journal and I see that there's something written there. Seems to be addressed to us. I
Yep.
come walk out to the group.
Okay.
Guys,
So,
I had some unfortunate news. Roland seemed to have passed away in the night. I have his journal here. It seems like he may have written something for us. I'm cueing you now. I think you.
So, Landon continues reading. Hello, friends. Thank you for reading my journal. If this page is still here, it means that we were unable to stop the soulmonger before it claimed me. The nightmares have been growing ever more intense, and sleep is becoming near impossible. So I felt the need to write this in case I do not survive. Do not discourage over this. The gods have a plan for us all. If mine is to die, so you can search without reservation, then so be it. I will miss you all dearly, of course, but I hope that you will respect my final wish and finish the search for the soulmonger. Destroy it. Save the souls of the damned. All I have, my contraptions, my gear, and my items, are yours for this purpose. Landon, my brother, you brought a smile to my face, and your carefree attitude, with your carefree attitude, and made me relax in the darkest of times. I would not have been able to go on this journey without your camaraderie. Please take care of yourself, and remember that family is important, but as my mentor used to say, the blood bonded in friendship is stronger than the water of the womb. Dear Aurora, I do not know much about your past, but the way that you act makes me fear that you have closed yourself off to the closeness of friends. Please open up your heart to others as you have to Tiger Lily. Forge strong bonds and listen to their advice. Take care of Clandon. Benfina, I have always seen you as an inspiration. You carry the ideals of a paladin, for which all should strive. You are powerful, and maybe the most powerful of all, with your kind heart and gentle words. Lead the party well, and do not falter in your convictions. Please deliver this journal to my sister Esta, and tell her I miss her. Thank you, my friends. The time we shared was the best adventure of my life. Roland Greenfield, Acolyte of Gond. And then there was a quote written below it saying, if my heart is to give, give it to my love. If my mind is to leave, leave it for the green fields. If my body is to break, then let it break from the toil. If I am to go, let me go home. Alessander Dawn. That's the last page written in this ink. You see that there's other kind of, throughout the different journal, there's the little quips of different things. His surprise of having run into these adventurers, recognizes yourself, and his ultimate kind of real surprise that you would go so far as to bring him back to life, and that you had cared enough to be able to bring him along and to help teach him about these different things, and how he missed his sister Esta, but he felt that this was his calling from Gond and that he was going to fulfill it. And going through it, you saw through there nothing but that he was very strong in his convictions, in the things that he wanted to do, and that he looked up to each of you for something that he was able to learn from this. He tried to put on a strong face and to try and put on a, hey, I know what I'm doing. But ultimately, being a new adventurer, he was really leaning heavily on you guys for that. There's always that sense of gratitude throughout. What you guys find in this journal. And in the night when he had passed, you do know from this curse, from this soulmonger, this particular quickening, you could say, you get the sense that there was some tampering of these larger magics at play, and you're not sure. He doesn't say in his journal what these things might be, but that it ultimately caused kind of the quickening of this, and that the soulmonger has claimed his soul, which means that for you guys, that each day you don't part, that his soul still exists, but it could be destroyed anytime. It could be consumed for this larger.
Can we get it back?
Can.
Like,
Right.
is it stored in like a sword or
The
whatever?
soulmonger stores it, and you can think of it as it's got a queuing system, pulls in at random whatever soul that is contained within it at that time, and at that point it will consume the soul as though it didn't. but he is again that same sallow face that you were seeing the day before. His eye sockets becoming, he, trying to keep his strength up. Day by day, you've seen this kind of progress further and further into this ultimate of for anyone who experienced death with the soulmonger active. It's hard to be serious with such a cute. So, but so the Ashara and the other Aarakocra, they are kind of gathered around, kind of expectantly, trying to see what's going on. And they just kind of wait what you want to do.
I just briefly kind of let them know what happened.
Okay.
Without too many. And I just ask, I'll confirm with the group, but I think we'll continue as planned because it's even more important now than it ever has been to take care of this soulmonger so that we can at least give our companion's soul a peaceful rest. But I would ask that you guys, if you would be so kind as to watch over his body for us while we are away, that'd be very much appreciated.
The Ashara, all of them kind of, with this deep sense of recognition, she kind of forms the rest. And the room kind of settles into a little bit of a hush, kind of in reverence of what has happened. And she said, "We will respect your wishes. You wish us to inter the body. Wish us attempt to preserve it. For what I know of this soulmonger, once the soul leaves the body, there have not been anyone that we know of."
Yeah, same here.
What do we know of his god and his traditions?
Roll
About
me
religion check.
religion check, yeah. Roll it with advantage because you are a paladin, and I'm sure that you've talked to him.
How are you a paladin with a religion of -1?
Man,
You
who
know.
said you got me actually crying over here?
Yeah, well, good.
Yeah.
Roland, if you're watching this, be watching it. If you're watching the video on demand, we appreciate you being a part of the group. So that was something that
I got a
he
better
wrote.
religion.
He wrote ahead of time for you guys. So I'm glad you liked it. We'll be pleased. So.
See? Real tears.
Gosh, Roland, you got it. It's right to the heart.
I know.
So,
Well, and we see who was really important in his life, who he wrote about.
So, well, and you'll find a lot of writings of
All of his notes on Vorn.
on Vorn, not Torm. Yes, on Vorn. You do see a lot of notes about Vorn. But you guys are in there too. A lot.
I think I even saw a poem. Oh, Vorn.
How I went to make another one. So you guys, if you want, like I said, they leave it up to you. They are willing to prepare a funeral pyre. Or
what did
enter him, or Benfina, you're sorry. She rolled a 16. Gond. There's not really anything specific about funeral rites. You know that he is the god of crafting. and the god of knowledge and that kind of domain. But you get the sense that it would be the same as kind of any other, at least from your role, that you know, as long as the body is respected in its resting place, whether it be a funeral pyre, whether it be interred in the ground, whether it be sent off in a river and fed back to the earth, most of it is an honorable resting place. Whether that it doesn't, as far as like how it happens, as long as it's in a respectful manner, that's usually the kind of the spirit of it, rather than the letter of the law of you have to bury someone this way if you're a follower of God. But you do get the sense that like obviously God won't receive his spirit until the soulmonger. Right.
Hey guys, as I was flipping through his journal, I noticed these notes he has of he has very meticulous and detailed notes on Vorn. I mean, it's kind of far fetched, but I think it would be pretty awesome and a kind of a what's the word? Homage to him and his god. If maybe if we got the chance to hire somebody or somehow get to rebuild Vorn for him, and maybe if we were to have a funeral pyre or something and to collect his ashes and put it inside that mechanism, that would be, I think that'd be a kind of cool way to have him live on in a way within a super awesome creation.
I didn't much trust that Vorn, but I could see that being a good way to remember Roland.
So I guess everybody okay with that? Think that's a cool thing to maybe try to do.
Yeah.
I can't stop crying.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sallow the mood.
Sorry, I kind of knew it was coming,
but
so
I didn't want to be like in the middle. So you guys finish combat and then he falls over.
So. Then do we want to hold a quick funeral pyre now before we leave, or should we do that? I kind of
the Aarakocra are prepared if you want. They are at the ready to help prepare a funeral pyre down. Obviously not on the up here because you'd burn all the buildings down, but down near the water, wherever you want.
Yeah, and we can just set off from there. I mean, should we? How do you guys feel about doing that real quick? It shouldn't take long.
I think you
could probably do it within like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, let's do that.
And it's
then
about like 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning.
We need something to keep his ashes in.
Okay. Get the chalice. And
what about that jug?
the alchemist jug. I'll remind you. So, the awkward part of this is I can tell you what is in.
Mementos.
Your mementos. Your Mentos. Second, I got patience campaign. I don't know. Thank you, Free Thought, Carl. I am so bad at free stream or Streamlabs. What am I looking for? Editor. Okay, it's not showing up. I want to make sure that it's not showing. Let's see. So going to Faded Few. We go to Roland Greenfield, level 7 human cleric / paladin.
And he just leveled up.
Level 8 clerics are pretty bad. Penny. Oh, you're seeing my chair? Okay, so the things that he has in his possession before, as you guys are kind of preparing this and gathering things together, he has the spider staff, glass staff, or not the glass staff.
From Glassstaff.
No, the spider staff from the black spider. Isnar. Big bad evil guy. So that's that. There's that. The alchemy jug, Lightbringer, the mace, the wand of magic missiles. He has an alms box and your basic, incense, candles, things that a religious pack can contain. A censer. He has some heavy armor chainmail. You're able to gather up potion of healing. He has his shield, which is again the shield with the kind of clockwork on it, emblazoned, which at this point has stopped moving. It's no longer doing its kind of thing that he does every time he blesses it and gets it going. He has a couple rations, the insect repellent and things. He has a prayer book, 5 sticks of incense, vestments, and then his currency. So if you
What was his weapon called again? Lightbringer?
Lightbringer, you guys found in Echo Cave.
I mean, that's if no one can use it, that's worth just hanging on to.
Yeah.
Anyone can use it.
Yeah, I say we hang on to it until we've got the new Vorn, and that can be the new Vorn's weapon.
I think he needs to
Was
Because that's also like a you often warriors are buried with their weapons, right? I think that's also.
But you also remember in his thing, in his last wishes, that he wanted you to use whatever you
I guess
continue on your quest.
Yeah, I mean yeah, no problem.
of course he did.
So I'm gonna do a quick copy. I don't know if it's placed very well.
What was there any plus anything on his shield?
Wow, that's a lot. It was just a regular +2 shield. I posted it in the chat. In game, it'll show all the different.
It's a lot of stuff. It does.
So if you need any of that, and then the currency, thank you for the follow. Hey seller, hey, welcome back. Let's get the currency in there real quick. So that, okay, from top to bottom, that is platinum, gold, silver, copper, or platinum, electrum, gold, silver. Let's look at it. Yes, platinum, gold, electrum, silver, copper, and from top to bottom on had in currency on. So that is the like, as you guys are preparing and pulling all the different things, getting all of your stuff put, kind of getting prepared for this next stint of your stuff. That's essentially what you're looking at. You're able to get, if you want to take his vestments that he would normally use for as a paladin or cleric when they're doing their worship. The censer is available if you want to use any of that for any pomp and circumstance. But that would be the assumption, is that when you bury him, it would be in those kind of ceremonial garb.
His fancy clothes he got in before the fight.
Yes, his fancy clothes. That's essentially the as far as like funeral rites, that's about as close as it comes, is to show their piousness or their devotion to that god.
Well, this.
So, if you have that, you guys can disseminate that. You don't have to do it right now. But there's all the information. I also have the thing in Roll20 that I can, if you have questions about different things. And as a part of this, Musharib offers to go and find kind of the the finest kind of wood, since he's kind of familiar with the area, used to the scavenging and things. He goes and finds some really nice dry wood, things that will ensure that as it burns, that it's going to be a nice clean burn, and that there's not going to be a lot of, it'll be hot enough, that kind of thing. He helps they get this construct together. They build this pyre, and then they're able to lay body to rest there, and anything that you want. Like when people leave flowers on a or like they leave a little matchbox card because it was their favorite card, that kind of stuff. If you want to leave any alms.
I want to give my shield to him to give him a piece of me, and then I'll take his shield as a reminder, like with the clock being stopped, and just a constant reminder that anyone's clock can stop at any time.
So you're to take the shield and they lay it on his chest as that typical kind of warrior. He's laying. He looks very peaceful. And he has the thing. And does anyone else have anything to give a memento?
Thinking.
As the silence settles, it's the Aarakocra, each of them kind of come and they pull a feather from their plume, and they get kind of over his eyes as kind of like a ceremony, giving them a part of, as a thank you for what he had done to try and defend this place.
I'd also like to summon, I guess, Vidax.
Okay. Vidax appears.
I'm gonna just in preparation, then the time that it took to get everything ready, I'd had grabbed one of the incense candles. Didn't I see that he had some of those?
He does, yes.
Yeah, I had grabbed one, and in my best fashion, as best as that I could, because I know that crafting and that kind of thing is
Mhm.
as another homage, kind of did my best the rendition of Gond carving out of that incense candle. So I
Okay.
light it and place it
Okay.
in the vicinity.
Okay.
And say a few words that no one heard.
Okay. So you light the candle, set the incense, and you set it down. There's a sensor that he has with it. You're able to rest. Again, quiet.
I'm gonna put some money on his eyes.
Okay. Place them. Excuse me. And Musharib, again, he goes and he finds some very fragrant plants and herbs that, again, you recognize some of the smells. When you go to nearby churches and places, they have a very similar kind of smell to them, or like the different ways that they use them. And you see him kind of in a ceremonious fashion. And then their Ashara, she kind of, as the matriarch of this group, she looks to each of you and says, "We did not know him long, but for the time that he was with us, he gave us his everything. I am sad to not have known him longer. We hope that Ubtao receives him that whatever god that he has pledged himself to, that we might remove this death curse that this in this place, to allow him to rest peacefully among the gods in his place, that others might also not follow in this very sad demise. And with that, several of the Aarakocra step forward with the torches, and they lay it down, and funeral pyre begins to catch. The very sweet smell of the lilacs, sage, and kind of things start to carry on the wind. And not soon after, the rest of the pyre catches. And as kind of this, the that he is not there and that it goes, but each of you feel a kind of cascading presence on you. And Venfina, your shield begins to make this clockwork. Begins going again. And each of you feel kind of an empowerment and what will be considered a blessing of God. So for the next 5 days, Venfina, your shield is considered a +1 shield. Aurora, you whatever AC that you have currently, you will add an additional. Same with Clandon. So you'll just basically your armor class will go up by 1 for the next 5 days.
All right.
Yeah. So
Hey,
that's
Preston.
yeah.
His pearl.
Yes.
Is it a religious pearl or is it just a pearl?
Let me look really quick.
Didn't he need it for some of his spells?
Yes, I
As,
believe
like, a
it was just a
component?
component. I don't think it was it was just a specific price. For I think it's for identification is what he had it for. Faded. Very sad moment. I clicked deactivate. Equipment. Holy symbol pearl. It's just it's a pearl that was found in the iron chest. It's worth 100 gold pieces.
Okay. I'm gonna take that and make it into a necklace.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So everything goes without a hitch. Venfina, that shield was not magical, correct?
Mine? No. It was just a +2 shield as well.
It burns with it. The reason I'm asking that is that at the end of the fire, obviously everything will be consumed unless it's magic.
Also, Timora is the god of luck, correct?
Timora is the god of luck, yes.
Okay, so I have a sigil of hers that I found in that pond.
Yep.
And so I take the sigil of Timora and I stick it to an arrow and shoot it off to the pyre.
Okay. So you shoot it into the fire, kind of like Viking style.
Yep, this all sounds very Viking.
It's good. So yeah, it's you see it's the
just as like a symbol of hoping for good luck with his soul and that we reach it in time before the soul monk.
So with this, you see it hit and it begins to. You don't necessarily from where you're at. You're not being it, but it breaks down. It's silver and gold, very soft and matte, and it also becomes part of this pyre. And as the dying, the coals begin to die, you guys are able to turn your attention toward the task at hand with a renewed purpose, with a stronger conviction, knowing that your friend, he might not be able to be there, or he might not be there in person or like his soul, but you know that he is waiting patiently for you guys.
So I'm gonna go over to the gear that didn't kind of burn up with him.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab the wand that he carried and store that in my bag.
Remind
but
me,
I also
you can cast
go ahead.
spells, correct?
Yes.
I'm gonna hand wave. Just if you're able to cast spells like in Arcana, for instance, that wand, you can use that wand. But if you're like a barbarian, for instance, in spell casting, that's the only limitus that I'm gonna put on those kind of items.
Okay.
Was
Okay.
the staff anything special?
Yes, the staff itself is a spider staff. If you look it up, it has the ability to cast spider climb, web. Both of those are concentration spells, but you have several charges that you can use. So the way that the charges work on any of them is, let's say you have 10 charges, and casting a spell takes 2 charges. You'd be able to cast that spell 5 times. Once you hit the 10th one, most of them have a consequence of using all of the charges, where you have to roll a d20, and if it's below a certain threshold, it breaks and is destroyed forever. This one does not have that on it. So I believe... wait, hold on. Let me go back to make sure. It regains 1d6 expended charges plus 4 each charges each day at dusk. If you expend its last charge, you roll a d20. So yeah, that is one of those ones where you'd have to roll a d20. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. It's good. That means we're invested in it. Like this.
So we obviously grabbed the alchemy jug as well. Lightbringer, I kind of ask, does anybody want to carry and use Lightbringer? I even look at Musharib's way.
Musharib shrugs. He seems to be kind of, as dwarves are, they're kind of set in his ways of, as his weapon that it's his precious.
And I kind of ask, I'm like, otherwise, I say we leave it here and we bring, we definitely will take it back with us to Schult.
As a reminder, it is a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls, and it's considered a magic weapon. If you're using any other bludgeoning, better than.
And I see that the spider staff says that it's stored in the Church of Gond and Schult.
Oh, right. So, if you want that, it's being stored there, but it's far off. So,
Did he say why he stored it there? I don't remember.
It was because it was just a powerful object and no one was actively using it.
Right. Yeah, I'd never.
So he was
Heard it
just
being used in
storing it
battle.
there. There was a couple.
That's a good thing. Yeah. Well, and they were doing stuff at the Temple of Gond, anyways, right?
And I would imagine he, in his notes, he probably put that in his journal where he kept certain.
Okay.
I look at Roy. I'm like, you want to carry the alchemy jug?
As a reminder,
Sure.
can carry, it weighs 12 pounds, whether it's full or empty, but you can always get a bunch of acid, poison, beer, honey, mayonnaise, oil, vinegar, fresh water, salt water, or wine. The command word.
Do we? Oh, we just tell it what to hold.
Yeah.
What to hold or what to pour? Because it's got like multiple corks. Right?
Correct. So it has different amounts for different things, but it can hold up to a gallon of any liquid when it's empty. And then, you can use an action to name one of the liquids from the table, and it will produce once it starts producing that liquid, it can only do that liquid until the next day. So, like, if you say, "I want a giant jar of mayonnaise," you have mayonnaise. That's it. And it's at dawn specifically, so you have to go. It's not like from 12 hours to 12 hours. It's specifically at dawn.
Do you have to use all of it, or does it just disappear?
It would just disappear.
Thank goodness that mayonnaise would get real nasty.
Or you have to use it on
Just like
20-foot-long sandwiches.
Oh, I'm so tired of this mayonnaise.
If you're really hungry, that could keep you from exhaustion. But okay, so you guys you're able to gather your things. The Arakocra are ready and prepared. Did you guys want to go on the river route, or did you want to go through the jungle?
What was the recommended?
since you have a ranger with you that is proficient in this terrain, there's no negative effects to going in
They're both
the
the same
forest.
speed.
At this point, it would be kind of the same speed because of Aurora's ability. But when you're on
I
the
don't.
water, the ability doesn't necessarily count because you're in.
I
They
wouldn't
kinda
mind.
balance out.
I wouldn't mind not being on the water. That those things last time were really annoying. Whatever they
The
were, I
gruns.
can't remember. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, they orient you and they tell you okay, and they're mostly a lot of it talking to Mushrib to let him know, this is where you need to go, this is what landmarks you're looking for, and once he feels like he's kind of got it down packed, he's ready to go, and if you guys are ready, then he is.
And I'm assuming we got his ashes collected in
Yes.
all
What
that.
did you want? Did you want to put it in anything specific, or just in a container that would house them?
Yeah.
Didn't we have like some kind of container we got from a water sack or something?
Actually, I think he had a container on him.
Yeah.
He's got a 5. There's a line item you put on there. Is like says 5-pound 1-2 container. Random item.
Oh, okay. It's his backpack.
Okay.
There's an alms box. He has Black Vincent sensor.
Oh, I guess we could put it in the alms box.
Or we can find an
The water
iron or
skin you could
something.
use. It'd be kind of hard to put it in there. There was the Shield Guardian amulet, but that one obviously was handed over to.
Yeah.
Prince. Fabulous. Um, his brain. The name escapes me, but he handed over to him.
Yeah, let's just say that they, can we just say the Shara or
Yeah, they would have
Aarakocra
ceramic
had,
jugs.
yeah,
They'd have that kind of stuff, and so they would provide one. It's nothing fancy, but it would definitely keep it dry, and so you're able to collect the ashes.
and then we just asked them to kind of hold on to that along with, because I imagine we're gonna come back here. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we keep it in there safekeeping along with. I'm assuming nobody rose their hand to use Lightbringer. So we may just leave it here with his ashes, unless somebody wants to take it with them. Anyone?
I'm good.
Okay.
So they graciously accept. Ashara says that she will personal care of this, safeguarding it, so that you guys don't have anything to worry about there. How are we doing on time?
It's 10 o'clock right now, so maybe an
Done?
hour.
You want to do another hour?
I don't know.
It's up to you guys.
30
I'm fine.
minutes. I'm good until
I've
like
got content.
let's see. For us, it's like 10:30 or 11, somewhere in between there, maybe. So maybe like another half hour to 40.
Okay. Then we'll continue. I will adjourn around 9:30.
Sounds good.
Okay. So you guys collected things, and you begin setting off. You again, there's a little bit of a somberness to the air, but you guys are going and moving through this forest. Go back up here to the map. All the music stopped playing. Solemn. Okay, ignore this. Okay, so you guys are moving. The first day, you guys go through. Everybody, make me. We're gonna do. This is gonna be as like for the traveling portion of this. It's gonna be kind of fast travel esque. Everybody, go ahead and make me for the first day of travel. Make me a round of perception checks. This is gonna dictate on how. Even Ep.12 19 or 20. Regularly. Okay. So as you're kind of going through these areas, there's not as heavy there's not as heavy amount of different creatures and things that you have your typical kind of forest creatures that you started to become accustomed to. You see them kind of dart off into the distance. You see some birds flying overhead. There's a couple of times that as you're going through, you almost step into traps of nearby bacteria or other tribal creatures, possibly grungs. You're not sure. You're able to step around them for the first day. The second day, going through, you see you as you're going through, you see and hear some giant boars that are in this kind of jungle clearing, that are all foraging. They seem to be looking for different mushrooms and things, but they haven't quite noticed.
I want to kill one.
Okay. So it's going to be, there's 4 of them. Go ahead, and from this perspective, as you guys are on approach, let's see, good quick. As you kind of come into this clearing, Aurora and the rest, you guys do see these boars foraging, and where are you at, my brother? A rib.
Benfina, you should heal up Virax.
Yes.
Yeah, he's.
Make sure everybody is up to full because you had a full or a long rest. 4. Ahead of you, clearing. Circular things are more shrubs, and guys are foraging. You guys are coming out of these. I've not noticed you yet, and so if you want to make the first attack, go ahead and make me. Are you? What's your demeanor? Are you just like going in and attacking, or are you trying to be stealthy about it?
Stealthy.
Okay, everybody, roll me a stealth check. Anybody who fails the stealth check against the giant boar won't get a surprise attack, and then we'll all get into initiative. So go ahead and roll your initiative.
Was this like a planned thing? Did you tell us you were attacking them?
Probably not.
Boars. You would probably notice that she's moving differently. As Mushrib was kind of holding the line and kind of seeing what you guys wanted to do.
Okay, so I see her starting to kind of approach, and I get on guard.
Okay. So go ahead and Venfina, you succeed. Aurora, as you're kind of stepping forward to make this attack, you step on a stick, and this guy up in front, roll to see if he sees or hears you. And pull, please. 4. I want to make sure I don't have like the stats sitting there where everybody's. Okay. All right. So as you're going, guys going to look at passive perception is 8. So he just barely notices Venfina or Aurora on approach. Venfina, they have not noticed you yet. Plandon, I don't see a roll from Clandon. Do you have one? For stealth?
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. It is a dex.
Okay, Clandon, both Clandon and Venfina, they have not noticed you yet. You guys wanted to move forward, then you're able to move forward. Vidax is dead silent. Is he coming up with you, or where's?
Oh, we're not going anywhere. I'm just on alarm.
Okay, so you're not attacking. You're
Like a shadow.
okay.
Um,
Being quiet.
being
Clandon,
a fellow ranger, I definitely I see
Yeah.
what Aurora's doing, and I ready myself as well.
Okay, so for this, Aurora will serve as a distraction. Clandon, you can make an attack against the whatever giant boar. They are distracted looking at Aurora right now. They haven't noticed the rest of you yet. But if you are going to make an attack, you can do so with advantage for a single surprise attack thing, and then we'll get into our thing. So everybody, go ahead and make sure you roll initiative. The Aurora and Vidax are in there, but Venus
I have a 10.
So who should have? All right. So Vidax holding his action, sitting with you. Tiger Lily, is she coming up with you as well, Aurora?
She's gonna go up to Venfina and stand with Venfina.
Okay, so she comes up, she stands with Venfina kind of at the ready. The air gets a little bit tense. And then Clandon, you said you're making an attack or no?
No, I'm making an attack.
Okay, make your attack and do so with advantage.
Aurora shot, right?
She did not shoot. She did because she broke the stick. It's looking at her.
Oh.
So the only person that succeeded the stealth roll was you. That's attacking.
Oh. Well, this is obviously going down, so yes, I will go ahead and make an attack.
Okay.
Let's see, where is it at? Oh my goodness.
Okay. So 14. All right, that does hit. Roll your damage. You have 2 attacks, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll your second attack. This time with normal.
He did he did the
You
14.
okay?
14 was 1 and 16 was the
roll one more to see if you get a natural 20, because it's with advantage. $19. Okay,
Nope.
So they're all the same. All right, so 9 and 7. So this boar, I'm assuming you're hitting the one that's closest.
Yep.
9, 7. So these 2 arrows come flying through the wood. You see it hit deep into this giant boar, and you see it kind of shake its thick, kind of corded body, and it looks over in your direction. You hear this as it prepares itself for charging. All right. So
I look over at Aurora and I just give her a look.
got this.
That just says this was you.
So the other boars now hearing the snorting, everybody's aware of each other. Other than the people in stealth, Roar and Clandon are the 2 that are visible. Vidax and Tiger Lily are the top of the round. Vidax do.
He's gonna hold his action until something attacks. Until something attacks.
What is he going to do?
Yeah, then he will do whatever he has. A bite, I think.
He doesn't have movement, so is it when it attacks him? Does that make sense? Like you can't hold move. move.
Well, yeah. So if here I get attacked.
Okay. If you get attacked and they're in range, he will attack them. Got it. What is Tiger Lily doing?
She's gonna come up to me
Okay.
and hold her action for when if I get attacked.
Okay. Got it. Landon, you are the next. So you shoot the 2 arrows, then you pull another one and you're ready to shoot. What are you doing?
Shooting again.
Okay. Let loose your arrow. It hits. And roll your second attack as well.
Oh no, that one was from before.
Oh,
18 is the first
okay.
one.
So
18's first one that hits. Roll your second attack. Well,
Sorry, what?
just hits. So both roll your damage on both. 7 and 1, 11. So that's total. As you kind of shoot another 2 arrows, you see this boar kind of stumble a little bit, but still standing. It seems a little bit perturbed. Then the boar above up here to the north is the next one that's going to go. He's going to use his movement.
What's the green circles, by the way?
Those
They're
are
like
shrubbery.
shrubs and
Okay,
just
okay.
like basically visual blockage between what you can see and what you
Just making sure they weren't trees.
they're really weird shape. So the giant boar is going to use his speed of 40 feet. Attacks me. Okay, got it. So he's gonna go 40 feet, which is he's gonna go kind of where he sees Aurora. Gonna try and charge at Aurora. Attempt to
Can't
make
reach me.
attack. He's got 40 feet.
Oh.
40 feet of movement. So he comes charging up, and you see him kind
I
of.
didn't know if I could curse on this channel or not.
He get he like paws the ground and comes running at you. He's going to make his tusk attack, which is going to be a 7. He does not make that attack. So as you're kind of going, you sidestep him a little bit, kind of matador style, and he comes with these large, very sharp, razor sharp tusks. Swing
And
right past
runs
you.
into Finfina.
He continues on a little bit further. That would have been funny if he would rolled a natural 20 maybe. And so you see him kind of swing right past. Tiger Lily, as he's coming past, she's able to make a opportunity attack and her regular attack because of she held her action. So if she can make 2 bite or claw attacks, whichever. 8 misses, but the 19 hits for 4 slashing. 4. As she kind of comes by, she slices at its heel and kind of makes it stumble, which helps with the whole. As he's kind of dashing at you, you kind of step to the side deftly. And successfully, Musharib, seeing everything, he's going to go ahead and draw his. Let's see what he's going to use. He's going to draw his skull bash, a large maul. Gets it ready, and he's going to use. He's going to use a hunter's mark, and he's going to use it on this we're here. His movement is 25 feet. But he comes like charging, just running. Swing, makes his swing at this boar.
Shot him.
Bash. 21 hits. He's gonna roll for damage. 7 bludgeoning. So as he kind of comes up, you see kind of him change his stance, and he goes to swing normally, and the boar starts to kind of dodge out of the way, but then he changes the trajectory and whack, and you hear this sickening crack sound on the top of the boar's head. And you see the boar's eyes are it's very kind of stunned in this moment, barely holding itself together. Now, Vinfina. Aurora's on deck after the next giant boar.
Okay, so are any of the boars still approaching, or was it just the one that kind of got agitated and?
They're
So far, it's
so
just
far
the
it's
one
just the
that's
one.
charged.
You get the sense that that is their. If you infringe on their space, they're going to attack.
Okay, can I see through the shrubbery?
Not very well. You got to move around it.
All right, so I'm gonna sidestep to the left.
Okay. You're able to see it from here. If you move further, right now it's within view.
Okay, I'm gonna step up a little and do a melee attack. So
Okay, that's good. Make your attack.
Um, can I use my sneak attack if I get in range?
Yes. So the way the sneak attack works, if you read it, if you have advantage, get the damage, or if there is another creature that is a friendly.
Right, but I didn't know if like I approached it if I got a sneak attack. Like, do I have to roll
Click it.
stealth first?
Click it and see. No, the sneak attack, I believe, is when you have advantage on the attack, or if another person is there. Because the idea is that your other person is distracting them, and then you just kind of stab them when they aren't looking. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's right there. So you don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it. As long as that enemy isn't incapacitated, and you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll.
Okay.
So you get your sneak attack damage on this as well.
Cool beans. Melee it is. Ooh, gross.
Save 10 does not hit.
You get
I
two of those.
swing and a miss. All right,
So
let's
first
go
one-
again.
The boar is kind of like thrashing a little bit. 7 also misses. So as you're kind of stabbing at it, it's kind of getting tangled in these roots, and it's kind of swinging around wildly, making it really hard to make contact with it. So this other giant boar, it's going to attempt to push through this thicket and check. Bust through it. It fails. So at this point, this giant boar kind of gets in here, and you see it kind of go and bust through, and there's all these vines and just large.
I didn't even have to cast a spell.
And you see as it's kind of coming close, Rory, you're getting a little bit nervous because it's starting to come through the brush. But you see as the vines pull tight and pull it back on its tusks, and it's thrashing back and forth. It's barely able to make it through this area, and it breaks through, but it's not able to make it to you.
So it's coming at me.
It's just coming at whatever you and Musharib and your general was trying to barrel towards where it's pack of, I don't know, what do you call a bunch of
A pack sounds
a
good.
pack?
A horde of boars.
A horde. All right, Aurora, it's your turn. You got one boar next to you. So if you make ranged attacks, they're going to be at disadvantage because you're in the range. But everything else, do.
It's a sounder of swine
Sounder.
or passel of hogs.
Interesting.
This one's stuck in the shrubbery.
Yes. For now, it used all its movement.
Can I fuck. Bow arrow him.
Yes, you can shoot.
Range. Can I do range on him?
Yes. I don't remember. Does sharpshooter negate disadvantage when someone's close? You click it real quick, we can get it. I don't think it does, but yes, you can make a ranged attack. It's just going to be at
But a
disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Because something's right next to you that can messes with your aim.
Alright, I'm just gonna move up here then.
Okay. You have full clear view of him, and you're still within attacking range of the boar, so you haven't there's no opportunity of it.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna attack the one that's stuck in the bushes.
Okay, go ahead. Your attack.
I'm gonna use a short sword.
Okay, so melee. So no, it will be normal. You're good. Okay, so you swing. The first attack misses. Second attack hits. 7, 2, 7, 8, 9. 9 damage. So as it's kind of like coming through, you just take it right across the nose and you see it kind of open up and the blood start pouring down its nose and it starts sputtering out and just angrily trying to get at. Hey, all right, now it is the first giant boar. He is going to turn his attention to Mushrib. He's going to tusk attack him, try and throw him back. Tusk. 16 hits. Mushrib takes 8 slashing damage. Right. Giant boar. This one is going to, again, just make its dash action right at everyone. Let's see how far he needs. Okay, so he is 40 feet's right there. He's just going to kind of run up and kind of stop and be like, planting his feet in the ground and getting ready for another. Actually, he's going to stop up here. He's going to plant his feet in the ground, kind of snorting angrily and pawing the ground. And you get the sense that he's readying for his Vidax. Top of the round. Tiger Lily on deck, then Clandon.
He's going to attack.
Okay, so his held action's no longer held. Which one is he attacking?
He's going to have to come around. He's going to attack the same one I'm attacking.
Okay, so round. Go ahead and make your attack.
Got a 14.
Okay, so 14 hits. Roll for damage.
That's a little better.
Yeah, I'm like,
That one was a little creepy sounding.
let's do
It
this.
was.
Let's do this. Those are fighting music. Okay, so the bite attack, 4 piercing damage. Got it. Is that music too loud for everybody, or is it okay?
It's okay.
Okay. So 4 piercing damage. Vidax bites in, pulls back a mouthful of boar. Tiger Lily.
Gross.
Tiger Lily sees the one you're attacking. She would also see that the other boar is holding on. She wants to pounce. Okay, which one?
The one that I'm attacking.
Yep. So it's going to make a DC's 12 strength check. It rolls a 7. It does not succeed. So as she kind of comes from the side, it's being all tangled up. She hits it from the side and is able to knock it over. Make your attack, claw attack. 6 does not hit. And so it doesn't get the bite attack. Hold on, 6. Hits with a claw attack on the same turn. Target must succeed. Okay, whatever. It's prone. It's this guy. Boop. Is knocked over. He's all entangled and all that kind of stuff. Anything else? Tiger Lily.
Nope.
Hey, Clandon, it's you. Next up, Giant Boar. Usharib. Then Fina on deck after that.
Being kind of curious about, this new magic and all. Kind of a different kind of magic than I'm used to using. I decided to pull out that magic missile wand out of my bag. It's like,
Okay.
it's a good time to try this out.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm gonna use the wand of magic missile.
Okay.
Does it?
Remind me on there. It doesn't say attuned or specific class, right?
It does not say a specific class. I even Googled about it.
All right, you're good. Then you can use it.
But well, so it does on magic missile, but not on wand of magic missile.
That's totally fine. That's perfect. So you're gonna go ahead.
It said it does have 7 charges. Do you recall if he ever used it?
No, even if he had used it, it had been enough time that
Okay.
they're refreshed.
Fair
So
enough.
So at this point, you can use up to 7 charges. So you can use 1 charge or however many for the lowest level, or you can use all of them at the same time. That's up to you. What do you want to do?
I'm just gonna use 1 charge.
Okay. You kind of
Again,
pull
I'm
it up.
just kind of testing it out. Yeah, do some.
You feel that familiar pull that when you're doing your planar energy and those kind of different.
Oh, that feels similar.
It feels similar, and then you feel that kind of release as you, and you see this force dart come flying out.
Okay, so I
door?
pasted about it. I pasted the details of magic missile.
Yep.
It creates 3 of them. So
Yep.
I'm gonna point 1 to the one that I attacked previously.
Okay, so this guy.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I'll direct the other to the one near Vinfina.
Okay, so this one. 2 there. Got
So
it.
I'll do the first one at the
All right, roll your ranged attack.
the solo one. Yeah.
Do it the same as, let's see, Dark Psych simultaneously. Force damage. It doesn't say what. Use your spellcasting modifier, whatever that is.
What's that mean?
So when you cast spells, it is. I'll open it up real quick. Clandon. There we go. So on your character sheet, you have a. Spells up here at the top, your spell save DC and your spell attack bonus, that 4 is what you're going to use for your plus to your attack. Does that make sense? So
So it's a 1d4 plus 1. It's actually a 1d4 plus 4.
Yes, because when a wizard does it, that's what they use their modifier. Yes, so it would be instead of 1d4 plus 1, it would be a 1d4 plus 4.
Okay.
I'll double check it later and make sure that we're good, but
that's fine.
Fairly certain that's how those spells function.
That's a lot better than the other was. That's awesome.
And does that those ones automatically hit, right? There's no roll for attack, correct?
It didn't sound like it. Yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second to. On. Go. Oh, not magic. Okay, magic missile spell. Casting time 1 action. 120 feet. No attack or save. Yes, you're correct. So since there's no attack or save, it's just automatic. It hits things. So this guy, this boar, you do enough damage to it, it needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Because if it's 10 damage or less, that would reduce it to 0 hit points. It's reduced to 1. So you see it hit, and you see the boar kind of stumble and start to. But then you see it comes back, rearing for more.
Did it do the Constitution roll?
Yeah, it saved on it. It has a.
Okay.
If it's 10 damage or below, it's gonna
Okay.
out of its own stubbornness, keep itself alive.
Oh, so like in its final hit, it has to be 10 or more.
On the first one, it can only do this once a day.
Okay.
It can only do this once a day.
All right. Well, then let me roll for the other 2.
You know this from being a ranger. I didn't give you, no metagaming here. So that's a 4 plus 4, so you got 8 plus 5, 13.
Wait.
Right?
It'd be 4.
You rolled 4d4
8.
D4 plus
Yeah,
4.
yeah.
So making sure so that you cast how many charges? You rolled the first one for the first board.
1 charge that created 3 orbs.
Okay, so the last one you rolled is not anything, right? Because you rolled a total of 4.
Oh, how did? Yeah, I didn't know.
So
I didn't.
That's
Whoops,
fine.
sorry.
You got max damage. So you got 8, 16 total damage.
Nice.
Trying to wave, Penny. She's coming in here trying. Wave and say hi. Say hi. 16 damage to this guy. You see, like, you weren't just from a single charge. You feel it, and it kind of like knocks you back, and you see this.
That was
And you see these things hit, and you're just kind of like, what?
I'm in total shock. That was... I'm like looking for smoke coming off the wand.
Yeah. So the giant boar is going to turn towards Venfina, thinking that she is the source of this damage, and going to make a tusk attack. A total of it was a natural 20. So Venfina will take 11 damage plus 7 for the natural 20. That's going to be a total of 18 damage, piercing to Venfina.
Sorry, Venfina.
Musharib.
Oh, good.
Musharib's going to make his attack, and he's going to pull back his skull bash, and basically just do another one where he's going to try and put it to rest. 12 just hits this boar. He sees it kind of come back to be lucid, and then he just whack, hits it so hard like one of the tusks breaks off. Yep, hits the ground. Because that guy is toast. Mushrooms. This one. Venfina, it's your turn. Giant boar next.
Well, I'm gonna retaliate with the melee attack.
Okay, make your melee attack.
And I can't tell. Am I within 5 feet of any of my comrades?
You don't have to be, but the giant boar is, yes.
Okay, so I get a sneak attack.
Yes, your sneak attack damage as well.
$21.
41. All right, it does hit. Roll for damage. Go ahead and roll your second attack as well while you're at it.
$19.
Hits. Roll for damage. 11.
And the sneak attack is just one time, right?
It'll be on the first time. You don't need to
And
worry
it's
about rolling it because it died.
1d6.
It was not.
Dead.
The first attack almost did it through. You feel it. You stab it, and you see its entrails start to billow out.
Well, then hold on. Could we have done the sneak
No.
attack on that one? On that first hit?
It would not have. How much is the total damage that it could have done? It had 6 health.
A 1d6.
Roll the damage. If it was higher than, if it did, then yes, you could use that other attack on another one. But no, it was just barely hanging on. Use the second attack.
Okay.
And you see it kind of it opens up as it kind of stutter steps, and then you find it right in its throat and just and it falls to the ground. And it was enough damage that it couldn't make its con save.
Overkill.
So this guy is what Tommy's baby. Okay, so the 2 giant boars dead. Now it is Venfina finished. Giant boar. He's going to use half his movement to get up, and then he's going to make an attack at Tiger Lily. And he's going to do so with disadvantage because he is kind of entangled in this still, and he has not used his stuff. Holy cow! He rolled 22 on both. He's going to do 7 slashing damage to Tiger Lily. So as he kind of gets up, he retaliates, swinging his nose, taking one of these tusks. Tiger Lily kind of dodges deftly out of the way, but still takes a good piercing from that. Aurora, it is your turn. Giant boar next, followed by Videx.
All right, I'm gonna attack that boar.
Okay, roll your attack. And right now you are no longer within melee range. So if you want to use a ranged attack, you can.
Why aren't I in melee range?
These other 2 boars are dead. You're no longer, you don't have disadvantage because there's nothing close enough to you to hit you while you're trying to shoot.
Even this one?
Yep, that one's 5 feet away. I bought all these songs off of Team Forest. Or whatever.
You bought these songs?
Forever ago, yeah. I bought them for natural 20!
Hey, that was forever ago.
Okay, so you hit on both of them. Go ahead and roll damage. 8, 9, 10, 14 total. Okay, so you come in, and if you are using the short swords?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you'll have to move into range right here.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. And that will be... As you kind of come in, Tiger Lily's kind of taking the brunt of it and getting it. You come to the side of it, and you take it and stab, leave a big old gash into its back. It stumbles a little bit, but it still just kind of shakes, and you see all the hair and fur, the dust from this giant boar just starts clouding the area. Giant boar above you is going to try and charge, and it's going to make a tusk attack. 11. Does 11 hit?
No.
Okay, so this one again, he's going to charge, he's going to swing at you, and he's going to kind of keep going past as and you sidestep out of the way as you're stabbing the other one. Vidax, followed by Tiger Lily. Top of the round.
Okay, he's gonna move forward to this boar and do a bite attack.
Go ahead. And he moves forward. Attack. 14 hits, roll for damage. He comes up, the giant boar readies itself.
Woohoo! 2 little damage.
Gets another piece of pork. Okay. Tiger Lily. Landing on deck.
Sorry, Steve's trying to make me cry again.
Don't! Stop it! Chink chink.
All right. She's gonna help Vidax and me with that.
Okay. Go ahead and make the attack. And I'm gonna say, let me see real quick. Restrained on. Double check. Restrained rule. Technically, this is guy's restrained. Stunned. Stunned. Restrained. A restrained creature. Speed becomes 0, and it can't benefit from any speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. Creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws, so you can do so with advantage. She rolls a 20. You want to see if she can get a natural 20? She'll still do the 3 damage, or if it's a natural 20, you'll roll.
All right.
Same for Vidax if you want to do that real quick, Benfina.
Yeah, she got a 5 this time, so.
Sorry, what am I doing for him?
Roll one more attack, see if you can get a natural 20. If it's not a natural 20, then we won't count it, but you have advantage on that. Okay, so Vidax, no change. So Tiger Lily comes in and just going completely into feral kill mode. Landon, followed by Mushrib, and Benfina after that.
All right, I'm gonna step out of the bush. And in the same motion, I stash away the wand and pull out my bow.
Okay.
And
Yes.
take aim at this guy in front of me.
Okay. Take your shot. Ooh, Benchy.
That's right.
So, which one are you shooting at? The one in the middle, or the okay, that guy. So let's roll damage on the first one, and then 7. Okay, and then are you using the same attack on that same boar?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and roll your second attack. Nice.
Whew.
16 damage.
Man.
So the first one you shoot, and you're starting to notice there's different parts of their body. The back of their neck and their head is very thick. Like the skin is very thick, very similar to a large bear. And so then you start noticing that the softer areas around the throat. You fire another arrow. It hits. Mushrib turns. He's going to use his bonus action to move Hunter's Mark to this guy. And he's going to make his attack with Skull Bash. And he's going to completely whiff it.
Musharib, what was
So
that?
He does not. And as he swings, the boar kind of steps aside and he hits the ground. You see dirt fly up from the muck. And he kind of looks around at the boar. The boar sees him and his eyes kind of like wildly looking around. Mushrib was like, I'm sorry, Mr. Clandon. Next time. Then Fina, it is your turn. Followed by Giant Boar, then Aurora.
Okay. I'm going to step over this carcass in front of me And then just do another May. Oh, I guess that one right there is closer to me. I'll attack this one to my left.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack. Roll both attacks and damage, and then if the attack's more than its health, then you can just targets. It hits. 4 slashing. Okay. I assume your second attack same more.
Yeah.
Yes, both hit. Roll attack or roll damage. So as you pull your glaive back, the first one, kind of the same thing as Clandon, it notices you and it turns its tusk towards you. Your glaive kind of glances off its forehead. The second one coming in, you get it a little bit better where instead of glancing it off, you kind of find this soft spot in its ear and you're able to like stab and it clips the ear right off. Get a surprise attack on it, so that's 8. At this point, you see kind of blood starting to mat the fur. The dirt that's on there is starting to turn to bloody mud. The other giant boar is going to turn, and it's going to try and attack at Vidax this time. Or Tusk. And it does so with disadvantage. 16. Does a 16 hit?
Yeah, his AC is 30.
Okay, so it turns and it throws its tusk in his direction, and he takes 13 slashing damage. So this is where you start to find why these are so deadly creatures. Those razor sharp tusks pierce Vidax, take him from 22 hit points down to 9. Right?
Yeah.
22 minus 13. All right, and Vidax, at this point, you hear kind of the yelp of a dog. It's been kicked.
No, that was like a kitty. Sorry.
Like a Scooby-Doo. Someone took away his Scooby snacks. That kind of stuff. All right, giant boar is finished. Aurora, it is your turn.
Okay. All right, let's keep doing this song and dance.
Okay. Go ahead and you make your attack. Longsword. Or short sword. Go ahead. It hits. Second one does not hit. First one, 4 piercing damage. So as you kind of swing around, you continue to lacerate it. And at this point, it's kind of like bouncing back and forth, looking at you, looking at Vidax, and then all the while still restrained. Oh, actually, make both of those are with advantage. So roll 2 more times. Because it is restrained. So the second attack hits. Neither of them are. We're going to roll damage. 3 piercing damage. All right, so you just. Whoops! You smack your mic, and you're able to cut it back and forth. And at this point, the giant boar next to Venfina, it was looking at Mushrib, kind of looking at Venfina. At this point, it's going to attempt to. Yeah, it's going to attempt to attack Venfina again with its tusk. 17 hit.
Let me check. Oh, don't we all have a +1 to our AC right now too? Okay, mine's 19.
If you're using that shield.
No, we got the Gond blessing or something.
Gone, right?
Yes, but your Venfina's was on the shield that she
That's right. That's right.
I'm pretty sure. Isn't my glaive only a one-handed glaive?
It's you can use it 2-handed.
Is there a benefit to it?
It doesn't say it's versatile on it. I want to say it's a 2-handed weapon. So if you're not using it, then you don't get the bonus AC for shields, and you don't get like the shield's usually a +2 to your AC.
Yeah, it is.
The reason I made that difference is because that shield you have is a +1 all the time. It's not just for 5 days.
Gotcha. So it's a +3?
So you have +3 to your AC.
Okay, either way, is it a 17 or a 19 that we're looking to see?
17 is what you're trying to hit.
Okay, well I have an 18 all the time, so.
So that's just with your base and your armor?
Yeah,
Nothing
that's
else?
just, yeah.
So if that's yours, then it doesn't hit. It goes ahead and its tusk hits, and you pull down on your glaive and redirect it into the ground, and more dirt flies into the air, obscuring this small battlefield. Vidax. Wait, no.
What?
I think it reset the turn order. Am I wrong? Because it was... No,
No.
I'm sorry. It was attacking you.
No,
You
it's
weren't
good.
attacking it. Sorry. I got confused. Vidax, Tiger Lily, top of the round.
Are those two still alive, or is one of those dead?
Both still
I thought
alive.
one died. Oh,
They're both pretty haggard, but they're both still alive.
Okay, we're gonna attack the one that is in front of Vidax.
Okay, he attacks. Rolls attack. Tiger Lily, go ahead and roll your attack as well.
Which one is restrained?
This one right here. The one that's trying to push
we
right
got a
there.
19.
Bite attack, 19 hits, 20 hits as well. So roll 6 piercing.
We got a 6.
So the
Do we roll advantage on those attacks?
So yes, you do roll it with advantage. So you can go ahead and roll again, see if you get a natural 20. If not, no big deal.
Yeah, I did.
So Vidax, he goes in to bite, and he grabs onto the jugular right here on the throat, and he rips it and tries to just basically put it down. The giant boar starts to stumble. You see its eyes start to cloud over, and then you just see this bloodlust over its eyes, and it pulls back up, tries to go. This point, Tiger Lily coming from the opposite side, both of them grabbing each side and just eviscerates it. And at this point, you hear kind of a gasping sound as the boar takes its final breaths. Dies. Landon, see that?
Eviscerates or a dehiscence?
Whatever is more appropriate.
Eviscerate means the organs come out. Dehiscence means it just splits.
They, whatever it is, when they grab onto flesh and tear it off, and then leave a big gaping hole and blood.
Okay.
Partial decapitation.
Dehiscence.
Dehiscence. There was a major dehiscence in their throatal area. Longbow.
why does it keep doing it more than I clicked twice and it does it 3?
So we'll
I'm
take
d-
the
maybe
first,
I'm doing it too fast. Yeah, the first two.
first two. So the first one does not hit. Second one does not hit.
Man.
Second one, I need Mosharib to make a dex save.
4.
He fails horribly. Not only was it a fail, it was a natural fail. I need you to roll damage as though it was a critical, please.
Oh my goodness. What does that mean?
So
critical?
he comes and he swings down, and there's enough dust and dirt in the air from the boar shaking around. You're not sure. You're trying to track it, and you fire an arrow. The first one doesn't quite hit, and then they kind of pull back into the dust, and you shoot another arrow, and you hear Mushrib go, "Ah!"
Oh, not again.
Hitting people. I don't know what to tell you.
Got him in the butt.
How do I do a critical roll?
You're gonna do. Oh, kitty.
You could just do that longbow that you
Yes.
did get a crit.
Just roll the longbow. What it is, usually you'll roll the damage twice, and add your modifier after.
Aw, she's so cute.
So
Oh no!
let me look at that real quick. Yep. Ouch. That hurts. That hurts. So 16 damage. You see, as Mushrib, he had pulled. You can't really see it at this point, but you know, you get the feeling you hit something you shouldn't have. As he pulls up his thing and he takes one right into the ribs.
No, he hit him in the crotch. He hit him in the crotch.
No!
As a natural fail, he could have hit him in the giblets. We'll take it. Instead of taking an arrow to the knee, he takes an arrow to the groin.
Yes.
And he's like, oh!
Tell me he's got some protection.
We'll find out. Benfina, hopefully you have greater restoration because he may not have children. We'll see.
We'll see. That's for sure.
That kind of stuff doesn't grow
All
back.
right, attacking the boar.
Okay, last boar. Turning on it, you have these mounds of large,
Sorry!
bloodied. The heavy smell of iron filling the air as you turn with your glaive and you stab. The first one hits, second one does not. What's the damage? 6.
Ooh.
It is barely hanging on. So as you stab,
And a 6.
and
Yeah.
a 6. So at this point, that is more than 10 damage total in the thing. So as you kind of go, You take it again, going for the ear. This time it looks at you, and it goes for tusk attack. You're ready for it. You pull back. It pulls its head up, and you just stab it right through the throat, up into its brain.
Nice.
And it falls to the ground.
Speared you.
And it goes a little bit silent. You, each of you kind of take a breath. Mushrib is in dire straits. He's not gonna die, but he is very wounded. It becomes calm again. The dust starts to settle. Go ahead and whatever you want to
Rush
do.
over with healing hands.
Okay, you rush over with healing, and you realize that you're gonna have to take this arrow out. And at this point, he is very protective of this thing. So I need you to make a charisma saving throw at this point with disadvantage.
I'm sorry, Mushani. I'm so sorry, man.
You're basically trying to calm the ER patient.
Sorry, you said a charisma save, right?
Here,
Charisma save. Is this accurate?
Why don't you?
Is this accurate, Sarah? ER patient comes in, you got to calm them down because they've got a thing of rebar.
I got a 15 and a 21, so.
Why don't we lay down
because-
here on the ground, Mushani?
Your heart rate's you start bleeding, so your blood pressure is gonna go. Originally, your blood pressure will go up, your heart rate will go up because your body's trying to compensate. So
at this point, he is freaking out. 15 succeeds. The DC was 14, so you're able to calm him down, and he says, "All right, I trust you." And he kind of finds a stick nearby, and he bites down on it.
Yeah.
Should we get some wine from the jug?
I give him one of my arrows to fight on.
Okay, so he puts the arrow in his mouth, and he bites down. Let's see if he has a strength save. If he's gonna.
I'll give him 10 lay on hands.
With the arrow still in him.
No, I take the arrow out.
Okay, so you pull the arrow out. Make a medicine check for me.
I
Not
have
disadvantage?
a spell I want to do.
Okay, go for it. So for the taking it out, are you proficient with healing kit?
Who? Me?
Natural 20, it doesn't matter. So as you kind of go
Yeah.
through, you remember with arrows, especially with some of these broadhead arrows, you push it the rest of the way through, break off the arrowhead, and then you pull it back out, and you're able to remove the arrow with minimal extra damage to him. Between you and Aurora, you're able to go ahead and roll your how much healing are you doing?
I don't know.
Yeah, you'll have to roll a 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
Yes, with Aurora, that's on
I'll
your
give
advantage.
him 5.
Mine's 4, so hers is probably 4 too.
Probably 3 or 4, yep. And you're gonna give her 5 of
Brandon, you better get over here.
I'm sorry, Mushani. What do I got? What do I
This
got?
is a
Oh wait,
repeat
no, I
offense.
think I did that wrong. Hold on.
Yes, it needs to be a 1d. Which level are you casting it at?
2.
Level 2, so you'll do 2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Oh, 2d8.
You
Okay.
may not need any more.
Yep. So he's full.
Those are awesome rolls.
So 2d8 is 6 plus 4 is a 10.
That gets him to full health. So at this point, you see the bleeding stop, and he kind of takes a sigh of relief, pulls the arrow out, hands it back to you, and then he looks around, and he locks eyes with Clandon for a second. Clandon, I need you to make a charisma saving throw, please.
Who did it? Who shot that? who did that? There was a lot of dust. Anybody see where that came
And
from?
I won't make it a disadvantage because he didn't see you shoot Tiger Lily.
What am I rolling?
Charisma saving throw.
Charisma.
This is my worst.
Yep, it'll be your
what-
save.
The saving throw, babe. Go to the saving throws section.
Okay.
That'll be different than your normal charisma.
Oh, it's still my worst. Oh,
Charisma. Okay, so you guys have some history together, and so he's cool with it, but he's still a little bit perturbed. Got shot in the groin.
dude, when we're done with this, we're gonna like save your land so bad, man. It's gonna be great.
I
Epic.
believe you, Master Clandon, but please, next time don't shoot me. Or at least give me warning if you're gonna shoot in my area.
Hey, you know what? When we get back in town, I'm gonna find you a nice pair of steel protective.
A cup.
That would be most wise, I think.
You gonna get some for Tiger Lily too?
She's gonna be walking around
talk
with
about-
just no more plate armor in the body.
Get
Just
her a
butt
diaper.
butt plate that just hangs down, protecting.
Actually,
They
the
totally have those. They're
Hey,
called
you know-
butt jewels or something.
I might recommend
butt
that
jewels.
each of you get one of these.
Are you that bad of a shot? Maybe
That's
you
perfect.
should get one in case you accidentally shoot yourself.
Or I just need to stop shooting with people near my line of fire. You know? I'm
I
sure
know-
Preston would find a way to make that arrow go into somebody's butt. Though.
I know how, like, normally in like the D&D rules, you hit a natural ones, usually something bad happens to you, but I think it's just more fun if something happens that's
So that I feel bad.
so it's more for flavor than anything. All right, so upon settling, you guys noticed there was a lot of the reason that these boars are in this area. There was a lot of good foraging. You find a lot of different types of mushrooms, a lot of different type of edible plants. So you guys are able to top off all of your rations. Mushrib goes ahead and he helps you guys find this stuff. And you're able to also get a crop of mushrooms, these very expensive truffle mushrooms. That if you would like to sell those, they would be worth, for a bushel of them, about 50 gold.
Can we also cut up some of this boar to
Yes.
cook
Make it-
tonight?
Make a survival check. Yes, you...
How long are these mushrooms gonna last?
Mushrib,
Apparently, I can't do any kind of cooking.
it depends on how you preserve them, but Mushrib gets the sense that, you know, they should be good for a week, too.
How much were they worth?
50 gold pieces for a bushel.
And how many bushels, or which is however many bushels
That
we
would
want?
be up to your survival check. So
Got it.
do your survival check and see how much. Let's see, Clandon, Aurora, survival.
I just typed it.
So yes, you're able to get the cut of the boar meat. It's kind of hard. Some of it's what's the word when an animal dies and the blood kind of
So
gets in some of the meat, making it a little less like you need to cook it sooner than later.
It's gamey.
It's not gonna preserve. It's gonna be a little gamey. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're able to get the cuts of meat. Any.
Can I make jerky?
I don't know that you'd be able to dry it out in the time that you have, unless you're going to stay there for a couple days. But yes, you could, like, if you wanted to do something simple, like if you wanted to salt it and like kind of smoke it over the fire and kind of get it prepared that way. Yes, you'd be able to get some of that. You can add an extra 10 rations total from that extra boar meat. Also, I forgot to mention, everybody, so from before you would have used one of your rations from that first day. Today you won't have to use any extra rations, and you can add whatever rations to your stuff from these boars. So for Aurora, she's prepared about 10 of them. Is anyone else doing anything with the boars?
I rolled a 9. And mix between like the mushrooms and.
Okay, so you find about two bushels of truffles as you're kind of foraging, finding it stuff. Venfina, what are you trying to pull from? Are you pulling meat or?
me, sorry, I am gonna do some truffles, and I did just look it up. Technically, if you store them correctly, they can last. They can be good up to a month.
Okay, there you go. So these truffles, mark them
and-
down as they'll be good for about a month. But beyond that, they're going to start to get gross.
How much meat did you say?
10 rations on. Did you want to get meat as well?
Yeah, I was getting kind of a mix between the
Okay,
two.
make me a second survival check for the meat specifically. Benfina, what are you getting?
Sorry, how many bundles of mushrooms did you say I got?
He got 2 bushels, and with your check, you're able to find another 3.
That survival is for truffles.
Okay, you're able to find 2. Aurora, Landon, survival. What are you getting off? Are you getting meat or are you getting health?
That's meat.
Okay, if you're getting meat, you're able to prepare 8 rations. Let's see. No, that's the same as Furs, so 10 rations out of the meat. There's a lot of meat here. There's a ton. Again, it's just gonna be kind of game.
What time is it by now?
Right now, you guys are pushing into about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the second day.
Okay.
You guys do have a little movement left. And at this point, you can definitely feel it because the canopy, you can feel the sun bearing overhead. Also make sure that you guys mark down your water consumption. You're gonna need to do, what was it? What do you say? It was a gallon a day for each person. So
unless you've got a disease.
Okay, so it's a gallon a day. So make sure that you guys have marked down for the first day, gallon of water. Today, gallon of water. If you're using the alchemy jug, then obviously that's where it's deriving from.
Is 1 gallon a ration?
No, it's separate from a ration. Your water
Well,
and
like,
rations are going to be separate.
Well, no, I've got like 2 water rations.
Oh, okay.
Mine says 2 gallon of water rations.
Okay, so then you've used both of them, unless again you're using the alchemy jug.
Does the alchemy jug have a never-ending supply?
Every day you get, I think it's a gallon of water.
It
It's
is
5 gallons.
1 gallon of water. Oh no, that's wine. Sorry, 12 gallons. 8 gallons of fresh water.
You can have up to 8 gallons of fresh water a day, which means 4, 6, 8
enough for each of us.
There wouldn't be enough for the 2 animals.
Does Vidax need to eat? Okay.
Okay, well, we each have our own separate gallons on us as well.
So do we want to use the alchemy jug for water for ourselves and then our rations for the animal?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's
so just
fine.
mark down.
Cool.
Mark down those. You also have your rain catcher stuff. So like if it does rain or something, you guys are able to get more water that way.
Correct.
But again, it just takes time.
And I imagine we all put bug repellent when we left, so make sure you probably mark off one of your bug repellent.
Yes. Got the bug repellent.
Is it 1 a day, basically?
Basically, yeah. Like 20. Okay, so you guys are able to do that. If you guys want, you're able to continue down the path, or you can break camp there. That's up to you. I imagine with once all is said and done, it's probably 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Once you guys are done getting the meat cooked, preparing it, cutting it, getting all that kind of stuff done. And
I think we should just break camp here.
Okay. So you guys are able to break camp. I'm gonna put you guys right about here. And that's where we'll leave off for today. So, first and foremost, let's look at the XP for you. Actually, as you guys are going to sleep, familiar faces. Let me get them real quick here. As you guys are kind of going to sleep, you see, as the area kind of settles in, you see some of those familiar faces. Make a perception check, a round of perception checks for everybody. Let's see where they're at. Perception. Okay, everybody sees it. You notice these guys, and for those, I think it was Clandon that noticed them last time when you were going into Port Nyanzaru. You see those kind of little Princess Mononoke type spirits, the little spirit nymphs. They're kind of these little tiny humanoids, dark bodies, kind of a whitish mask look on their face. You kind of see them kind of peeking out from the woods, kind of curiously. You see that they're not being hostile or anything. They're just kind of seem to be curious and seeing what's going on. And they kind of watch over. You see a couple of different kind of flora and fauna kind of dart off into the woods. You see some monkeys swinging in the vines. But otherwise it's relatively peaceful. You guys are able to get a long rest. And then the next time, pick up right as you guys are kind of traveling into Tangle Garden next time. So the experience.
Can I do a history check on those
Sure, go for
like
it.
forest spirits?
You also have do it with advantage because you have Mushrib as a resource.
And I also just kind of voice like, did you guys see those? Anybody know what those are?
Yeah. It's hold up.
And then I just say what I know and see if anybody knows more than what I do.
All right, so Clandon, you know that you've seen them before, but other than that, you haven't really seen much of them. Aurora, you kind of you feel more familiar. You've heard of these things, and you feel like you've seen them, kind of like when you're in the corner of your eye, and then when you look, they've disappeared. But these are called the name that Mushrib helps put to it is Xinghua. Of a pronunciation. Inga. Ch. There we go. All right, so here it is. Show to everyone. Little tiny, kind of wild-haired creatures, and they don't necessarily flee at your presence, but they also don't necessarily let you. As you kind of get close and you feel like you're about to be within reaching distance of one, they just kind of the nearby plant or like a tree stump or things like that, and then they
like they did in Brave.
Yeah, like Will o' the Wisps type stuff. And as far as Mushrib is concerned, he kind of explains a little bit more about these. These are tiny elementals. These typically they're kind of like they're regarded as kind of the spirits of the different animals or the different plant, forest fauna, that kind of stuff. They take shelter inside a rock, of living plants, natural resource of water. They are very evasive. They don't typically like to be seen, but they have been known to take interest in certain parties or people, and usually those people they'll either find that their shinies gone missing, kind of like mischievous, not necessarily nefarious, or they'll notice that they've been given some kind of like a forest blessing. They've been granted passage, or maybe they'll come and find that there was a larger creature that might have been their way. These put it to sleep, or those kind of things where they seem to be that kind of like sometimes they're mischievous, sometimes they're helpful. It's not really, but they do crop up from time to time in storytelling of adventures as they kind of travel throughout the not just these parts, but in different parts of the world. But that's just specifically what they call them here. Yeah, so as you do that, you kind of have a peaceful night. All these kind of Chingwa that are just kind of observing you and seeing what's going on. You're able to get good night's rest. No, nothing happens there. And for experience, where you at? Not in there. Giant? Oh, please. I would say first and foremost, for what is let me look at it this way. What is everybody's experience at currently? And what is what's percentage are you to your next level?
Well, we just leveled.
Just leveled.
You're
So
very fresh.
I show that we're at 23,000.
23,000 even. The next level is 34,000.
Ooh.
And level 7 starts at 23,000.
Okay, so I've got 600 experience per person for the 4 giant boars that you have killed. For the RP XP, the roleplay, since this was kind of a roleplay heavy experience with a lot of stuff, I will also grant each person 1,300 experience for RP XP.
1,300.
Yes, 1,300. And thank you for chronicling that. yeah, and then just make sure to mark down whatever you have there. So that's pretty much it for this time. So let me ask, cadence wise, do you guys want to do this every other week, every week? What do you want to do? This time still appropriate, or do you adjustments?
I know that Steve said he would rather do it on Saturdays.
If
Do
that
Saturdays
if
work
that
for you guys?
works,
Fine. I don't have any issues.
cool. Yeah, Saturday nights.
Yeah, we could do Saturday
And
nights.
Especially since we have to get up early on Monday morning,
All right.
and 11 o'clock is pretty late for us.
Okay. And what about your time wise? Is starting at the same time, 7 o'clock Mountain Time?
yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
that's fine.
perfect for us.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to do it weekly or bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly is better for me.
Do it bi-weekly. Got it. So now that we got that out of the way, that's all good. Do we want to do it next week or do we want to wait a week? That's going to be actually, hold on. I need to make sure. I do have a Saturday game on the 24th. Not this Saturday, but the one after that. We're doing a long game for my other campaign. That's the only conflict I have.
Well, since we haven't met so long, do we want? Can we do the 17th, and then we'll
Well,
do
we
maybe
can
the
do. Why don't we start on the 17th since you have one on the 24th, and
Yep.
then it will skip it and do the next one on
do
the
it that way.
31st.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be our regular cadence. Cool. All right. Well, we got it there. As a reminder, if you guys, I sent you the link in Hangouts. If anyone wants from, I know you had your sister and others that wanted to possibly join. That link, if they go and create a character, just like a blank character, they can attach it to that, and it'll give them access to the full library. Because I've purchased all the stuff that D&D has in there, so if they want any backstories or any of that kind of stuff, they can feel free to construct it. They can construct their character at the same level you guys are.
So they have to. So what? Sorry, what are the steps again?
D&D
So
Beyond, create a
he
character,
sent us a link.
And then link it to the
and
campaign.
then click that link, and it'll ask you what character you want to attach to it. That's why they have to make a character first. Even if they don't have to make the character, they just have to have a, like, they can hit random character
Got
and
it.
then go back and fix it.
Because I know my brother, he's planning on joining when he gets his new laptop.
Yeah.
And I think he already did a lot of his character work.
Perfect. That's perfect. So if he wants extra
He sent it to
access,
me.
it's
Okay,
in
Sarah's
Hangouts.
got
Yeah.
it.
Sarah's got
All right,
it.
cool.
So if you want, that's available. And then, like, if they have any questions, what I'll do is, you guys, what do you guys have for if they have any questions about, like, okay, I want to use this magic item, they can run it by me, and if it's like, if it makes sense for, like, their backstory and stuff, I'll probably allow it. But if it's something like, I want the belt of Supreme Giant Strength that makes me have 22 strength and OP, I'll probably say, probably not.
I mean, my ogre power gloves are.
They're pretty good. Well, those ones are strong. The reason I say that is because I have another team that we play with, and he has a 22 strength and makes his attacks like off the chain. So, yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much it for me. I think that was it for, like, housekeeping stuff. We'll start with our kind of, like I said, regular cadence. Next week, you'll look forward to going into Nangalore. If they want to join, just have them let me know, like, a week ahead of time, and that way I can get their character sheets and all that stuff in. And
Okay, yeah. Hi.
higher. There you go.
There's a cat. I have
Oh,
to say the white
Fluffy.
one is still my favorite.
Yeah, that one is.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna log out, guys, because
Okay.
I gotta get to bed.
Absolutely.
But that was awesome. Thanks, guys.
Good
Looking forward
games.
to next.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. This is Fuzzy's. Let me see if I can get my. Ooh, I guess it's gone. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. As you guys heard, we're going to start our regular cadence for this game. Starting on the 17th, it's going to now be every Saturday, starting at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So thanks again for guys tuning in. A big thank you to Acel, Frosty Jiff, Free Thought Carl for all the bit donations. I really appreciate it. And all those donations go back right into the stream to helping, have fun with D&D. As a reminder, we do have Extra Life Extra Life has been going on. It basically is open all year, but the specific event is going to happen in November. So far, we have I believe it's $535, I think. So we're over halfway to our goal of $1,000 this year, and it's not even. We got that early on in the year, so you guys are smashing that goal. Big thank you to our sponsors and partners and affiliates, all that kind of stuff. KC Game On. If you're in the Kansas City area, they're a great place to go and play. You can look at them up at I think they have kcgamecon.com, kcgamecon, CON, and kcgameon.com, both of which are you can get more information about how to play, where they take place at. They're on-premise events. They're really fun. I've done them for many, many years. You can bring your own computer. They have tournaments. They have prizes. All kinds of fun. So go check them out. Thank you to Payrock for helping provide some of the equipment that we use on the Thursday games. If you ever need payment processing, check them out. It's actually where I work. I do not, and as a disclaimer, this stream does not represent their views, all that legal jargon, but they are very big proponent in both our charity giving as well as helping us out with that. So big thank you to them. Yeah, so thanks guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.